All right, greetings. We had to have an open discussion because the news be triggering all type of thoughts and ideas, and people want to talk about it. And so, rather than doing it while I'm telling the news on the weekends, we'll run through the week, and you get to speculate, talk about it. That way, it doesn't get mixed in with the news, and I can express some of the stuff I think about it without it being a part of the news. One of the things I hate about the news is that they put too much of their personal opinion while they're telling the news. If they had a separate program, that would be fine. But they don't separate it, so you never know when it's the news or what. I think CBS is the only one that's separated. Maybe NBC, but a lot of them they mix it all together. I don't really like that because speculation is not the news, opinions is not the news. That stuff is not the news. So this is an open discussion. If you want to come in, all you have to do is just send me your email. I'll send you a link. You can come in live. All you got to do is just send me your email to elatonbooking at Gmail. I'll shoot you a link. You come into the live, get some stuff off your chest, or you can just say what you want to say right in the live. You can just type it. Either way, it's wide open. It's a lot. A lot of emotions tied in with it. Now, one thing is, watch the language and be respectful, right? It's fine to debate. The kind of the younger generation, they kind of like to do a lot of name calling when they're having a discussion. I don't know what that's about. I'm not from that generation. And so a lot of young men, they can't have a discussion without name calling. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. It's crazy. Sometime I'm on Instagram and I'll make a comment, and in the response, they be calling me a name. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? I don't even know them either. They'll call you stupid and all type of stuff. It's the strangest. It's the strangest thing. I'm like, are they that? I don't even know what to call it. Do they have? Do they lack any manners? They don't have any manners at all. No type of decency at all. That's crazy. How do they make it in the world? I'll be thinking where they live at. Boy, I don't know where they live at. When you do that in Chicago, it'll go so bad for you. You can't do that like that. That's crazy. I ain't never been standing around no brothers and we just start disrespecting each other with conversation. That's crazy as hell. I'm not really used to arguing because nobody I know argue. That we debate. The debates be wild as hell. We debate, but the debates are wild. I see you channel pick, so okay, hold on, check it out. Here we go. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, big bro? Yeah, I was texting you earlier because if you had checked out the EU agreement that Ghana president made with the European Union, and Burkina Faso, basically cut them off, and because they import 90% of their tomatoes from Burkina Faso,
Right,
right? And they cut them off because a lot of their food that they actually eat, they import from other places.
right,
And uh, Ibrahim is trying to nationalize, his stuff where he can do it himself. And depend the same thing Thomas Sankara was trying to do before they unalived him. But the same day that the president of Ghana was in New York talking about reparations, his vice president was signing a deal with the EU for security. Now, what they're saying is they're not going to set an embassy up in Ghana, but they're going to create a security post to stop Islamic insurgents and the terrorism crap, the same bull crap that they always run. Now, I'm here in Philadelphia, right? There's a lot of Ghanaians on the East Coast corridor, a whole lot of Ghanaians in Philadelphia, and it's split down the middle. There's a lot of Ghanaians that's supporting the reparation stuff and what he's doing, but there's a lot that's very upset because they're saying, like, how can you bring in the colonial powers to set up a security post? The very people that's when you got those ECOWAS countries, they're being controlled. The ECOWAS is still being controlled by the EU and the European Union and the United States. So what I'm being told is they're actually creating a post where in the next 2 years Ghana will be able to use their visas and they'll be able to go to every country, back and forth to every country that's connected to the EU. So Ghana is going to be like an extension of the European Union because they're going to use that as a military post to keep their eye on the other nations that's competing on their interests. And that's why they're doing this. It has nothing to do. A lot of people celebrating thinking that they're going to come in and help you. No, they have their own interests. And that's what I kept asking. Like, well, you just signed a deal with them. What's the catch? You know what I mean? And I didn't know if you was checking that out. If you was looking into that.
I really didn't understand. I didn't really understand their interest in reparations. It didn't really make much sense. Like, if you had the slave ports and you're the country that had 40 slave castles, how do you get reparations when you're the country that sold the slaves? I didn't really.
Well, it's a smokescreen because remember, we've been going back and forth to the UN since the 40s. William Patterson and Paul Robeson went in 1951. What was the name of that 240-page pamphlet that they wrote? It was called I'll tell you right now. It was called, hold on. It was called the We Charge Genocide Petition, right? They went in 1951. The difference is, this is the trick, because Ghana represents a nation that can have a seat at the UN, a sovereign nation. They're acting like they're speaking on behalf of us, but that's bullcrap. What they're doing is Ghana's going to end up getting reparations from the EU because the EU has special interests in the race for AI against Russia and China. So all they're doing is now securing those borders, because right on the border of Ghana is Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso is doing business with Russia. So all they're going to do is build up Ghana the way, whatever things that Ghana asks, they're going to build them up. They're going to allow them to be. There is a report that's saying by 2040, Ghana's going to look like Dubai. They're going to basically build up Ghana as this place, and that's why they're using him to be the forefront for reparations, and all the Pan-Africans and everybody's on board.
No, I get that part. What I don't understand is reparations for what?
But see, watch this, Elder. You know this because you a freedom fighter. It's not about what we want, it's about what they say.
No, I'm saying Ghana get reparations for what? That's the part I don't understand.
Listen, I'm the same way. But again, what they're going to say is their country was ravaged by colonial powers too. Because remember, they're basically trying to say that they didn't sell slaves. We know that they did, because that same president is from the Gonjo tribe who was running the Salanja slave trade. They was the ones that had to pay tribute to the Asante tribe by offering them slaves. So the Asante tribe took those lower kingdoms and made them go catch the slaves, bring them the slaves, and they sold them to the Europeans and Arabs.
Yeah, that's way down the line though, because the history is the Portuguese was coming. The Portuguese was trading with the West Africans. The West Africans told them, we got people. The Portuguese told them, what are we going to do with them? So the Africans basically said, well, take a few and see how it goes. The Portuguese took them and they sold. That's when the Portuguese came back and said, you got more, you got more, you got more. So they tell a slave story after the frenzy, but they never tell how it started. There was no slave business. The West African Ghanaians and Nigerians created that.
Yes. And they first started it with the Arabs. They was doing it back and forth with the Arabs.
Well, the Arabs was doing it, but that was from the East. So that was like when we was for 700 years. But from that part of the world, the Europeans didn't create that. The Africans, the West Africans, offered them a few people. They took those few people. They sold well. They came back and got more. They ran out of the Africans that they had captured, and then they started going all over Africa to fill this demand.
Well, you got to remember, see, before they had chattel slavery here, a lot of people don't understand. You had the rice coast in West Africa where Sierra Leone and Liberia, they had already had rice plantations and had people on those plantations. In Mali, they have cotton plantations. They had already had slavery. Like when you have those empires that where the Biafra the Biafra land in Nigeria before it was Nigeria, they had already had slaves there. They had a whole slave trade, sub-Saharan slave trade amongst the Kanem Bornu Empire and those different empires. They was already had people working the fields, and they was doing business with Arabs since the early 700s. Right, during Mansa Musa in them time, they had already had slavery. This is the part where a lot of people, Pan-Africans, Africans don't tell the truth. They had already had plantations.
No, but here's the thing. The difference between that and slavery was what they were doing then. That was considered indentured service. Everybody was doing that. The whites, when you see them rowing those boats in the bottom, that was the same thing. So anytime you got captured or anytime something happened, they owned you for 7 years.
Yes.
They're trying to call that slavery. That wasn't slavery. That was paying back for us being in a war 7 years and we let you go. That's not the same thing.
No, I agree, but peep the blitz. What happens is, let's look at it like this. If you the Ashanti tribe and I'm the Gonjo people, and you come and you sack my tribe and kill us, kill a lot of us, take our women and children, as we enemies for life. It's up for life. And you tell me that I got to pay tribute to you by bringing you slaves, right? Now, there's no chattel slavery right now. It's running the way it is. But then once conquerors come in and start conquering you, they say, well, we need slaves. You're not going to sell your own people. You're going to sell me. And that's how they had people. That's how they had people to sell.
See, that's the part they're not telling, because they did not come in and ask for slaves. The Africans offered them slaves.
Because they had people to offer.
They would come in, and the whites were bringing guns and alcohol to the African and mirrors. This is the beginning of that. And mirrors. The Africans was trading them products that they had there. And then the Africans in East and West Africa offered them you want some people, and
because they had already had slaves.
And the Portuguese said no, but they wasn't slaves. They was captured from wars.
Yeah, but let me. Well, that's what I'm saying. Let me add. What I'm saying is, because your perspective, I'm not a slave based off of chattel slavery. But if you come take me against my will, and I'm working with you, we enemies. And then like you killed my brother, we enemies. So like when you doing the 1600s, 1600s up in Mauritania, they were selling slaves to the Arabs that came down there that took over. They was already selling slaves, those empires. They were selling them as tribute.
That was the Moors. I know about that. That was the Moors taking them across. But I'm talking about the slavery that they're talking about in Ghana and West Africa.
Yes.
That started out. The Africans offered the Portuguese some people way before when people jump in the middle, but the Portuguese offered them some people, and and the Portuguese didn't want them.
Right. See, that's what I'm saying.
There was no market.
Yeah. I'm agreeing with everything you saying is correct. The only thing I'm saying is the reason why they had these people to offer, because they was already kicking each other's ass.
They had people, and also that was the law of the world.
Yes.
Because when you go to war, not only do you kill my people, but I kill some of yours too.
Yeah.
So it was a 7-year deal, 7 years.
But and you can marry into the kingdoms and all that kind of stuff.
But now I'm trying to figure if the West Africans offered slaves, and they are the slave owners.
They compress it. They compress it.
How do they get reparations?
Because they're trying to word it like they're trying to word it like they wasn't selling them. They was conquered by the European and the Arab.
That's the part I don't understand with how they going by the word when the history is already written. It's already written how it happened.
Well, they do what they want to do. So, put it this way, Pharaoh. Put it this way. Look at it from this perspective. We know when you're dealing with them small hats in that protected class that's a lie and everything. They still do what they want to do, though, right?
Uh-huh.
So they listen, unless you got the power to stop them, they're gonna do what they want to do. Now, watch this. Think about it, Pharaoh. Who voted for him to come speak on behalf of anybody? They just sent him there. The West sent him. Because he's being funded and sent by the West because the West and the EU have their own agenda. They don't give a damn. They voted against. Remember, they voted against reparations, but at the same time signed a deal with him to protect their country because they have special interests in Ghana. So it ain't about us. It's about their own agenda.
Well. My perspective is this: the last president. He had that year of the return.
Yep.
And when he had the year of return, he made a lot of money pretending that we could come back to Africa. Yes. I believe this new president, the whole reparation thing is the same scheme. I believe he came up with this reparations, knowing it's not going to go through. But now people are going to come as tourists. A lot of blacks going to go because if you ever notice, they only pander to Black Americans,
yes,
and Black British.
Yes.
Why don't they pander to Brazilians?
Because
they don't have no money.
Yes.
All right, man. So it's good talking to you, man. I'm glad you came in and let them know that information. And
remember,
we'll be updating that. We'll be updating that. So I'll keep up with you.
Yeah, and just lastly, just remember, because of what you just said, what they're doing by 2040, and this is I was reading this on my channel. They're going to develop Ghana. Ghana is going to be the post for immigrants to go to Ghana instead of Europe. They're building Ghana up to be like the next Dubai. That's going to be the security post because they speak English. They was conquered by the British, so they carry. It's just all. Once you start reading it, you'll see what I'm saying because they have it all already documented, but they distracting us with the reparation stuff, but they got their own agenda in the back door. That's all I'm saying.
All right, man. I appreciate your input, man. Keep me informed. I know you know what's going on. Thanks. All right.
All
right, love, bro. So yeah, I don't understand how a slave. I just still can't understand a slave country talking about reparations. It just seems crazy. We got anything now? What are you talking about? Who is this one? Somebody say the same as you do. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what you mean the same. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. You got to be more clear. What else is going on? Thanks for the donation. You all support the channel. If you want to come in, you give me a. Um, let me know. I'll. You can go to my email and send me your email, and I'll send you a link, and you can come in. So I just really don't understand it. To me, it's a tourist scam. It's because nothing else makes any sense. It's a tourist scam. So you can send me your email to elatonbooking@gmail. Then come back and let me know you sent it. I'll send you a link. You can come into the live. That's my man George Macon. Go subscribe to George. He on top. He's watching everything what's going on. I just totally didn't understand. I just totally didn't understand. I didn't understand a slave country get reparations. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You got 30. You had 50 slave castles. You still got 30 slave castles. How the hell you get reparations with slave castles? What? They still got 30. They got like some of the most slave castles. So I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? That's the part I'm like, well, y'all got slave castles. Reparations, you the seller. That's crazy. That's like I'm a pimp and I got 20 prostitutes and I'm the head of women's rights. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? That's the only part I don't understand. I do understand what George said. I understand all that. But I don't understand how you have 50 slave castles. You still got 30. I don't understand. You the seller. How the hell do the seller get reparations? I don't understand that. They crazy as hell in Africa. They think Ghana gonna be Dubai. That's another thing. That's all. I got to get George back over. Ghana ain't gonna never be no Dubai. Come on, man. Really? They'll never fix up Africa like that. They trying. They got a couple countries where they got some stuff, but that environment ain't gonna let them do that. That environment is wild. Look at our weather over here. They really think they're gonna build some stuff with the climate acting crazy? I understand. You understand they want the money and they care nothing about what. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the slave port. That's where you sold the slaves. That's the only part. How do the place that sells slaves get reparations for slavery? That's the part I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. The slaves is over here. The slaves is in Brazil and all of that. Right? So if you got slavery in Africa, you sold the slaves and they're gone, right? So how do you get reparations when the slaves is in Brazil? How they want, nobody got took, they gave them away. Nobody got took, they gave them away. Go read it for yourself. You had some West Africans fighting against them. That was the movie about the Black Queen in Africa. That's what about. She was trying to fight against them. No, they offered the slaves. They trying to hide that history that the Ghanaians and the Nigerians were the one that suggested it. How do the people that suggest, why don't you take some of these people? The Portuguese wasn't looking for no slaves. They didn't even take that many at first until they sold quick. And then that's how the Spanish got in it, because Spain is right next to Portugal. I don't know. Yeah, the Woman King, right. She was fighting against the blacks that offered slaves. They offered them slaves. This is before slave castles. Everybody gonna tell a story from this point of the slave castle. I'm talking about originally. There was no slave castles or nothing. Like when there was no type of movement like that. They was selling them to people that they had been fighting. They was selling them to people they got fighting, but they offered them. And the Portuguese said, no, what are we going to do with them? And they said, well, just take a few and see how it go. Then the Portuguese came back, and they came back. Then they came with a whole bunch of ships. Because at first they were just coming like with one ship, and they used to row to shore because the Europeans couldn't go on the land up in there, snakes and all that. And the boats, you got all kind of rocks and stuff. So they used to, if you go look at some old movies, you'll see they park the ships way out there and they come to shore on rowboats. And then they make a little trade and then they row back. So and when they first was coming, they couldn't get hardly no slaves on them few rowboats. So they gave them a few, and then it turned into a business. That's what Nigeria, I know. Because the people down in Nigeria was some of the people in Nigeria was fighting against them. I'm just confused. Those are the sellers. The sellers. The Ghanaians is some of the main sellers. That's some crazy. That's crazy. They the ones who were selling all the slaves. And they talking about, we want reparations. No, we didn't sell them. Somebody took them. Nobody took them, bro. Listen, when you talk to people about slavery, they're gonna always start in the middle. I'm talking about at the beginning. They don't talk about that. In the West. In the West. I'm not talking about the beginning on the East. That was we was in slavery 700 years there. It was taking you up to Morocco. That's why you see they always got that Moroccan flag, because that's where they were selling us from. But in East and West Africa, in the very beginning, yeah, I said it's a money grab. In the very beginning, in West Africa, there was no slavery. The Portuguese had been there a few times. They never left with slaves. They was getting other stuff. They was bringing the Africans guns, gunpowder, mirrors, and something else. And the Africans was giving them stuff that grow there. They wasn't doing no people for a long time. They wasn't doing no people. When you see the stories about slavery in West Africa, they always start in the middle. I don't know, these new scholars, they always start in the middle. They never start at the very beginning from the first slaves. The first slaves, the Portuguese didn't want them. They're like, what are we going to do with them? Because you had indentured service. So they're like, well, what are we going to do? We already got indentured service. Because up in like Ireland, the Danes, you'll see the Danes, You see the whites, just before black slavery, you see the whites in the bottom of the ship rowing. Them was what we now call slaves. But they didn't call them slaves because you had to let them go. You had to let them go. That was international law. 7 years and you let them go. That was the law. So they didn't have no comprehension of no slaves because they're like, well, we ain't fought them or nothing. What we going to do with them? I don't know. So what y'all think? Let me read the chat. I said, damn, they want reparations. Listen, they don't want no damn reparations. That's a scam to get tourism in Ghana. Look, black people, we stand up for you. Come visit Ghana. I'm telling you what it is. It's a scam. He doing is scam 2.0 from the other dude. That's what it is. It's a scam. It's the same. It's a scam. I'm telling you. It's to make them look so that because they made a lot of money from that year of the return. From that year of the return, they made a lot of money, and they say, dang, a lot of blacks, right, went over there and had a bad time, and nobody want to go no more, right? You see, blacks don't want to go because the blacks that went over there for the year of return under this snake. This snake right here, they made a lot of money with the year of the return. And then it flopped because they mistreated the people. So now they got a new president. He like, I'ma say, we gonna have a big thing for reparations. We know they ain't gonna get it, but it'll make us look positive again. And maybe black Americans will start coming back and spending that money because they made a lot of money with the year of the return. They made a fortune with the year of the return. I'm telling you. That's all this is. This is a year return 2.0. They made a lot of money with this. That's when all the Steve Harvey, everybody wanted to go. Everybody started going over there to see. So they know if they get their name out there, oh, Ghana talking about reparations for black people. No, we ain't going to do y'all dirty. Yo, I know we did y'all dirty last time we tricked y'all to come. But no, I'm a new president. I'm not him. So this is him 2.0 trying to act like they love us. That's what it is to me, because don't nothing else make no sense. The only thing makes sense is a scam to get black people to come over there. Because other than that, the slave owners ask for reparations. Stop it, right? And they know only a few people like me know they slave owners, right? People think white people just went and just took black people. No, some of them West Africans say, well, have you tried some of these? And they like, what are we going to do with them? This is the real history. The Portuguese did not want them. Look it up. The Portuguese didn't want them. So the Portuguese say, well, we ain't going to take all of them, but we'll take a few of them. And when they went, they sold good. So then the Portuguese came back and got some more, and they sold and come back, and that's when the frenzy started. When they figured out, oh, it's money? So then the Spanish found out. This is back at the beginning of it, not in the middle of the story. That's a fact. With the first blacks they offered them, the Portuguese did not want them. Only took a few. So by the time you see it cranked up, that's when a whole bunch of ships start coming, but they only took a few. And they was not their people. They relying on Africans too. Them Africans did not sell their people. That's a lie too. They didn't sell their own people. Africa's huge. Them people I fought with, that ain't my people. We was fighting with them. Then the Duga Duga tribe and we the Wooga Wooga tribe. The Duga Duga tribe is not my people. They Duga Dugas. See what I'm saying? But black people, we think they Africans. They not African. They be lying on the Africans. The Africans did not sell their people. That's like saying the Crips sold their own people when they sold some Bloods. See what I'm saying? They did not sell. They be lying on the Africans. The Africans did not sell their own people. They're not their own people. In our mind, that they own people, but in Africa, no, that's not their own people. No, you're not my people. You're a different tribe. You're not us. Dun dun. They not like us. You know what I'm saying? We don't know them. You know, they did not sell their own people. That's what they taught me. Africans sold their own people. I had to go study, and I said, "Oh, they lying. That's not they. Technically, at the time they did it, that's not their people." And they didn't know what the whites was going to do, because back then the whites did the same thing, but you still had to let them go. Even if you was a Dane or a Viking and you took some British and some Spanish as indentured service, still after 7 years, you have to pull that boat over and let them out. You ain't got to take them back home, but you can't make them row for you no more. That was international law. 7 years. You could go see Tedros. When Tedros beat the whites, right? He took them and made them work for 7 years. And then he took them to the border of Africa and he made them take off all their clothes and walk naked, because he said they can't take a grain of sand from Ethiopia with them. But he had to let them go. This is why internationally slavery for Black Americans would broke international law, because you could only have a slave for 7 years. That's it. They had us for 700 years up there in them people up there in Europe, right? Right over Morocco. That's why the Moors always worship in Morocco, because that's where they sold a lot of slaves at. Right through Morocco. Because when you get up to like Morocco and up in there, and you go like to Italy, when you go to Italy, they got some mountains in Italy by the water, and you can see Africa. It's like right there. You can see Africa. It's like right there. When you from Italy, you can see Africa. It's right there. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, crazy. I'm like, how the heck they get reparations? They scamming. They trying to get somebody to come. They trying to get somebody to come there. Don't nothing else make no sense. Nothing else don't make no sense. It don't make no sense to me. Make it make some sense. And y'all got slave castles everywhere. Wait a minute. How you get reparations with slave castles? That make some sense. Well, that don't make no sense at all, do it? I was confused. They say Ghana do reparations. I said, the Ghana with the slave castle? I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What? How? They try to get some money? Come on, man. They got 30 slave castles. They had, I think it said they had 40 or 50. They only got 30 left. Now, how you got the slave castles and you want reparations? And they built them. They built them because they was making money. They helped them Europeans build that. They was making big money. And then the Europeans realized they were some suckers and just got taking slaves. Came in with the guns. More came. One ship, two ships, three ships. They look out there one time, it's 20, 30 ships. They just ran in gangsters. Man, we not paying you nothing. As a matter of fact, take him too. They started taking they started taking they started taking the Africans that was giving them the slaves. They so stupid. They started taking them. Look it up. Go do some serious deep dive. One minute you making money selling slaves, the next minute they say, you look strong, grab him. They start coming with some Portuguese and some people, some Spanish people you don't know. They don't know you. We don't know you. We ain't never trade mirrors or nothing with you. That was 20 years ago. We need more slaves. Grab him, he's strong, but I am the king. Not no more, buddy. You know what I'm saying? But I am the king. You the cotton picking fool. That's what you finna be. You know what I'm saying? You work for bag. They put a price on their own black heads. That that wasn't Africans. That was just one group. That was just one bunch. It wasn't Africans. It was one bunch because the other ones was fighting them. The other ones was fighting them. Say y'all some sellouts. The queen lady down there, that tribe was fighting them. So it wasn't Africans. It was some Africans wasn't with it. But remember now, they was trading for guns. So those Africans had guns to help the slave owners when they got there. They couldn't let them get beat. You understand? Same play they did on the Native Americans. The Native Americans that would sell out, they get them guns. So they more powerful than the other Native Americans with the bow and arrows. It's the same play they did in Africa. Because they was trade with them, giving them guns so they could be dominant in the first place. Alcohol, guns, and mirrors. That was the third one. I was like, what's the third one? It was guns. And then the Africans say, you want some people? And the Portuguese like, nah. We already got people slaves. We already got white ones. You know what I'm saying? What we want with them? Because back then they didn't do race. There wasn't race is a new construct. They already got men. How you think we got here? We already got men in the ship rowing. You know what I'm saying? We already got people we captured in Europe that's rowing. That's crazy. I said, how do slave sellers want reparations? And now they lying on the whites too. They lying on the whites that voted no. They lying. They lying. Because the whites that voted no know the same thing I know. They're like, reparations to you? Buddy, we got them from you. We're not giving you nothing. You know what I'm saying? White people know the history. Imagine you a white dude, you know the history. And the man that offered you slaves, talk about you got to pay him, and you didn't even want no slaves until he offered them to you. That's why them white people voted no. I would have voted no too. Who gonna pay you? You the one was selling them. What? They try to make it like the white people just don't want to give us reparations. No, they don't want to give the Ghanaians reparations. They'll give us reparations because we the victim. But they not going to give the perpetrators no rep. They probably was looking at them like, okay, let us get this straight, buddy. We came here. You offered us slaves. We started getting them. It was good business, so we turned into business. We started taking a bunch of them. But you offered them to us. You helped us. You've got slave castles everywhere. Now, let me get this straight. You want us to pay the slave sellers? We were just the buyers and the stealers. We were just the kidnappers. You was the seller. You was the one that had them in the castle. We just pulled up and picked them up. White people wasn't putting them in these castles. Who was putting them in the castles? The Ghanaians and them. The Ghanaians, the one was filling up the castle. Am I lying? Who put all the slaves in the castle? The whites or the Ghanaians? The Ghanaians. The whites was back in Europe. And when they came back, the Ghanaians like, we have more, sir. We have more. We have a lot. We built more castles too. We have a lot. So now the slave seller, the castle watcher, the one that filled up all the castles, he want reparations. Why I can't never go none of that stuff and shut the whole thing down? Wait a minute, Mr. Ghana president. Aren't you the people that filled up the castles? How did the castles get full of people? See, nobody asked the real good questions. I got a simple question. I know you want to say the white man got the slave, but when they got there, the castle was full already. The white man lived in the white man land. How did the black man land castle in the black man land get full? That's how I want to know. How did the castle get full? The white man didn't fill it up. So you want reparations for filling up castles? And you want white people to give reparations for filling up castles so we could just come and take your own people, take black people? But you the one filled up the castles with them? I think that president, and we go to the door of no return, and we cry. I said, you is lying. He don't be crying. I just was shaking my head. No, you ever notice I'm the only one say who put all the slaves in the castles? How the castles full of slaves? All the whites were just pulling up and getting them and leaving. So who put them in there? Right? Y'all had 40 or 50 castles. How they was full? Who was filling them up? And you want reparations? Are you serious? Look, you Ghanaians, sit y'all black ass down so y'all ain't getting no reparations. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Okay? That reparation is supposed to go to the Jamaicans, the Trinidadians, the Belizeans, right? The Brazilians, the Foundation of Black Americans, to the blacks that obviously was the ones sold. Obviously. How does seller get the money? But them white people was mad. They're like, we're not giving you nothing. No, we abstain. America's like, if you don't shut up, we ain't giving y'all nothing. Reparations is for black Americans. And I know that's what Trump and them was thinking. We'll give the blacks where we live reparations, but we're giving you nothing. castle filler. You know what I'm saying? You the one. You the one. All the people get in the castle. Mr. Ghanaian president. That's all the real. That's all I want to know. I ain't trying to start nothing. How you gonna hijack our plight when you filled up the castle and Pharaoh gonna tell everybody? Everybody gonna know this by next year because I'm gonna tell everybody. They're gonna be mad in Ghana. They're gonna be like, find this Pharaoh and get him, shut him up. You know, shut him up. Nobody was thinking about that. They're gonna be mad. Mr. Nigeria president, boy, you messed the whole thing up. No, nobody was thinking about the castles, how they got full. Yeah, y'all filled them up. The whites just pulled up and got, 25 on pump 4. But you the one put the gas in the, you know what I'm saying? They just was pulling up getting the slaves. Y'all the one packaged them, had them ready to go. Am I right? If they got slave castles, who really was behind slavery? Whoever filled up the castle, not the ones that pulled up in the boat and took them. Am I right? They make you think the whites got out, ran around grabbing slaves. No, the black West Africans ran around grabbing black people and put them in there. They started grabbing everybody once it was money. See, at first they were selling their enemies. But once the price of slaves went up, they was grabbing anybody. That's why Africa is guilty. Because once it was money in it, they started grabbing everybody. It was the British that came and said, y'all can't sail with no more slaves across the ocean. It's illegal. We catch you. We're gonna take your ship. We're going to lock you up. Yeah, the British banned slavery on the ocean. And when the British banned slavery on the ocean, that's when they built all these slave farms down here and started breeding us here. That's when they started breeding us. That's a fact. So when people say, well, I'm not from Africa, it's like you was bred, though. You know what I'm saying? You was bred here. You was still the same thing. You was still at a breeding farm. You don't think you was at a breeding farm, huh? You a special nigga, huh? No, pero I'm special. I'm special. Boy, shut up. You was on the breeding farms too. Come on, you a Native American. You a naive nigga. Whatever. Go study. Go pick up a book. And stop trying to pick up a book that say what you want it to say. No, I only pick up books that say I'm a Hebrew. It's like, man, pick up any book, okay? No, I only pick up a book that say I'm a Hebrew. That's the only book I read. The book must already say what I want it to say. I don't want to read a book that's going to bust my bubble. You know, that's it. They be bad. That's why they hate me. I be posting pictures like that. They be like, don't show me that. No, I'm Native American. No. I'm a hustler. So I know if you was a Native American and I was a slave owner, right? I'm going to grab you. I'm going to make you have a baby with this black African, right? I'm going to grab a black African dude and make him have a baby with this Native American woman because I need some black babies. And all I need is one black person to make some black babies. That's what I would have did. Because I already stomped out the Native Americans, so they got to shut up and do what I say, right? So I would have made the black African man make the Native American woman have babies, and right, and the Native African man have babies by the Black African woman. I'd make them all turn everybody black so you can get out there and pick that cotton. Because when you're black, you can take the sun. And I need cotton pickers. I don't give a damn what you used to be. I'm finna turn all y'all black. These mandingos finna go up in all these Native American women. I go by common sense. We need slaves. Once slaves was a business, y'all talking about it was rules that you could walk around. No, I was a Native American. It was rules, Pharaoh. No, it wasn't. How it was rules in slavery. They finna grab your Native American ass and you finna be 12 years a slave. I already showed you in the movie. They grabbed dude talking about you was a freeman. 12 years a slave, dude was a freeman, wasn't he? I'm just saying. Wasn't he a freeman? Why you end up 12 years a slave? Because there wasn't no rules, man. That one lady, they grabbed her, they used to burn up your free papers. If you had free papers, they burn them up. You a slave. These new black scholars, they're like, no, we was freemen. Now you busy. So all of a sudden back then, the Europeans went by the rules. Huh? Now, they don't be going by the rules now, but back then, no, back then, Pharaoh, if I had my papers say freeman, they went by the rules. So they didn't take your papers and throw them up and say, not anymore, N-word. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. They didn't tear your papers up because these ones today would tear your papers up. Am I lying? These people today that's not black, some of them, I'm not grouping, but the bad ones. If we had free papers, they wouldn't burn them up and say you ain't never had no free paper. They would honor your free papers. Who believe they would honor your free papers and wouldn't snatch them? Y'all seen the movie of the? You believe they honor your free paper? Talking about you was a Moor. Bro, you from the Virgin Islands. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? I see some dudes about they the Moors. They ain't even from up here. You know what I'm saying? They not, bro, you what? Well, we been up here a long time. Bro, you from the Virgin Islands. You ain't even been up here. Period. Shut up, bro. You an Arawak and black. You some kind of whatever native was down there and black. That's what your ass is. You ain't no damn Moor. Boy, if you don't shut up. Showing you the Moors was here and the Moors was there and they ain't even from here. I be being nice because I like some of them. I don't want to bust their bubble. You know, Big Pharaoh is the bad guy. I just be popping. They be having bubbles. Everybody be having their bubbles. I'm a Hebrew. You know you're not. It be bad. Why I can't be a Moor? Why I can't be a Hebrew? Stop it. You just ruined it for everybody. They say I be ruining it for everybody. No, once it's a price on your head, boom. And that's why they used to call your old relative heifer. Man, they call the women heifer because you had to stay in the barn. And when you got sick, they had the vet come. They didn't let doctors come check on the slaves. They let veterinarians. You was an animal. When they called you a SOB, they really meant they wasn't just calling you that. They meant you was the son of a dog for real, that you was animals. Like we just thought it just terms. Nah, that was really that. You wasn't no human being. As fast as she have a baby and she stopped bleeding, they have another mandingo go right back up in there. It was brutal. Sometimes they get pregnant and that baby fall out because the wound ain't even healed yet. They ain't care. It was so brutal. They'll never tell the whole story. Boy, they'll never tell the whole story on that. That's what's up in that. Now let's talk about the war. What y'all think about the war? What y'all think about the war in Iran? What's going on with that? We'll get back to reparations later. They over there fighting, boy. You think it's gonna be long? Yeah, it's a high possibility it'll be long. I think America's trying to fight it in a halfway decent way to put a new. This is what I think. Elections. I think America trying to help the ones on this side take over their government, right? So they trying to help somebody on this side take down the government, right? And not hurt the rest of the Iranians. So the Iranians on the side of the 35,000 that got unalived that hate the government, they're not trying to hurt them. They just trying to remove the government. But I believe if the bad Iranians hit America too hard, they won't try to save nobody. They'll blow the whole place up. The only reason it's looking like the Iranians got a chance is because 80% of the Iranians hate the Iranian regime, and America's not trying to attack that 80%. But if it get to the point where they're going to lose American military and stuff, they're going to be like, the hell with all of them. And they're going to go blow the whole place up. They shot down a F. That's a great point you made. You know, White Flame, this young generation, they be watching TV. And so when America take a loss, they be thinking it's a real loss. They really do. Like, duh, it's a war. Yeah, they going to get some licks. So like a plane gets shot down, they be like, see, America loses. I'm like, y'all young, it's a war. They gonna take some casualties. They thinking America gonna go, nothing gonna get shot down, no American gonna get hurt. And if America get hurt, they think that means you losing. I'm like, that don't mean you losing. It's a war. Yeah, you gonna get hit. So they shot down a F-35, right? I'm like, and they shot down all they planes. Like, okay, they sunk all they ships and shot down there all they planes. So it's like, what? Why is Trump trying to push for peace negotiations? How old are you, Telvin? I'm a big Pharaoh going to tell you what's really going on. How old are you? Okay, Telvin, this what's going on. You know why Iran won't accept a peace negotiation? Because they know Trump full of shit. He ain't trying to have no real peace negotiation. That's just talk. Tell me. At the time, Trump was talking about peace negotiation. What was going on with the U.S. military? 3,000 Marines was on the way, right? So tell me, if me and you, Warren, you live in a house on the west side, I'm coming over in your neighborhood next week with 10,000 men. And I say, I'm working on some peace negotiations. Would you believe me? Because the 10,000 dudes coming. As soon as the 10,000 dudes coming, guess what's going to be up with the peace negotiation? Oh, my bad. We ain't going to be able to do the peace. Are the Marines here now? Oh, yeah, we ain't going to be, I'm looking at this, I'm saying, yeah, they're going to tell you peace negotiation. Here go Trump. When will they be there? They'll be there. They'll be there next Saturday. What is it, Tuesday? Okay. So I'm trying to negotiate some peace negotiations. I'm trying to get them to stop shooting until Saturday. I'm trying to get them to stop shooting. It's all love. We don't got to do all this. When they gonna be here? 2 more days, bullshit them 2 more days. So we trying to, you know what I'm saying? He don't never tell the Marines to go back home though. They constantly coming. The Iranians like, you lying. They know he's full of it. It's just Americans believe him. Trump is scared. He's losing. He's losing. He's begging for peace. Wait a minute. Let's tell the whole story. Trump said he was negotiating with them for peace, right? What did they say? They said, no, he's not. We haven't heard from him. Hold on. Let's tell the whole story. Trump told Americans, we're negotiating for peace. What did the Iranians say? They didn't say they rejected it. They said, no, he didn't. That's what they said. They said, no, we ain't talked to dude. Go look it up. They said he was lying. They said, we haven't heard from him. That's what they said. They didn't say, yeah, we talked to him, we rejected him. They said, we haven't heard from him. We have not talked to him. That's what they said. Here go Americans. See, he's scared. He negotiates. Listen, allegedly, you got to read the news close. They be using words like sources say, you know? Yeah, I'm saying? When you look at the news, hey, man, these people is ugly with it. They'll be like, sources say Trump is trying to work out a peace arrangement. It's always sources. It's always allegedly. You never see him come out and say, you never seen him one time admit it. Because I know if I was behind him, I already know. So he'd be on stage, well, we'd like to talk to him. I'd be like, that's right, Don, stall him out. Till we get there. We're going to dog their ass when we get there. You know what I'm saying? Stall him out. Yeah, stall. That's all he was trying to do. They finna blow on their ass. Boy, you think they spent all that money and bringing 3,000 troops and they try to really talk peace? The whole time he was talking peace, they was like, Herb, get on the ship. Herb, we probably gonna negotiate. Get on the ship. Hey, go get on over there. We probably gonna negotiate something. I don't know. We probably. You know, I was watching, I was shaking my head. I said, America's going to go for it. The whole time they blowing up everything over there. They're like, they lying. No, they not. They blowing up everything Iran got. They done blew Iran to smithereens. They blow up 100 Iranian things. And when Iran blow up one thing, people like, see, America losing. I said, what is wrong with you? That's all you see is when they blow up one American thing. You ain't seen they blow them up all week. You want to see that part? But all they ships is in the bottom of the ocean. All they planes been blowed out the sky. They had an old air, man, they Air Force was old. Some people think they can win. Yeah, I've seen that. He said, you got 24 hours to agree to stop bombing their university or they will attack some U.S. spots. Let me ask you something, Maurice. Where you from? How old are you, Maurice? You from the United States? How old are you? That big Pharaoh help you out. How old is you, Maurice? I got love for you. I'm glad you engaged. How old is you? I'm glad you said that because it leads to just what I'm saying. Hey, Maurice. So I'm the U.S. right now. I'm hitting little spots because I'm trying to liberate some of the Iranians. So we trying to find little spots. They say they're going to attack U.S. spots. As soon as they hit one U.S. spots, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to blow up a lot of shit. All that stuff I ain't blew up yet, I'm blowing it up. So go ahead, play with me. Maurice, if it was me, would you do that? If it was me and I was Trump, and you say, if I don't do this, you're going to hit some spots, would you do that? Because you know what I'm going to do? You're going to hit some spots. What I'm going to do, though? Well, I really can't talk to you because you're one-sided. So that's why I've been talking to you, because you're not open-minded. So I wouldn't really want to engage with you. I would only want to engage with somebody that's not, you're already like that. So it would be a waste of my time, wouldn't it? Channel pick. Also some high level discussion. Wouldn't it be a waste of my time trying to debate that with you? Right? It'd be a waste of my time, won't it? Be honest. Anything other than what you're saying, wouldn't it be a waste on my time to say something different to you? Yes or no? Let me see if you're real. He said America lost World War II and World War I. America won World War I and World War II. America destroyed Iraq. He don't know what he's talking about. He's just talking. He's talking. The only war that America really lost was Vietnam. That's it. He just talking. You know what the hell he talking about? Ask him, did America lose World War I and World War II? America saved Russia in World War II. I thought that Germany was crossing into Russia. I thought America went and saved Germany and England. I thought Winston Churchill and them was hiding and Hitler was blowing up. I thought America won that. Right? He said ain't won a war since World War II. It ain't been no war since World War II, but Vietnam. What are you talking about? That's why I don't talk to him. He don't know what he's talking about. He probably, how old are you, channel pick? You a baby. Hey, look. You know why America lost the war in Vietnam? I can't prove you wrong. You see what I'm saying? That's why I want to talk to you. I can't prove you wrong. I can't teach you. I can't tell you anything. You're already, there's no way I could prove anything to you. Just that statement, prove you wrong, it's impossible. That show your knowledge. You ain't got no knowledge because you already know I can't prove you wrong. And what you want to do is go. That's why I blocked you because you just worthless over here. You're a real OG. I don't know what that mean to me. You couldn't be. Whatever. There's no real OG gonna say he's a real OG. Sound like a buster. Like I'm a real OG. That sound like a buster to me. You sound like a buster. You sound like a buster to me. I'm a real OG. It's like you sound like a buster to me. Yeah, he wants to argue. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Just ignore him. Let him stay. But here, for those of y'all intelligent, tell me in the chat why y'all think the United States really lost the war in Vietnam. Put it in the chat. Let me take a break. Yeah, I don't argue with him. He don't know what he's talking about. Okay? Let me tell you something. If he knew he was talking about he'd get a life, he wouldn't be over here riding my, see how he riding me? He don't got nothing else to do. That's why he watching me. As soon as I log off, he be at the crib. I've been watching you, watching you. That's all he do is watching me. Somebody he a real OG and he constantly watching me. I'm the real OG. I'm not watching you. Is it due to the environment they was in? Close. Let's take a break. Y'all put down why the U.S. really lost the war. Right? Put it in the chat. Yeah, I ain't talking to him. You know what I'm saying? No. America lost the war in Vietnam because they was trying to fight the war strategically. They couldn't fight it like a real war because the war in Vietnam, right? The war in Vietnam was over rubber. So we don't got no rubber trees. So they can't blow the place up. They destroy the rubber. See what I'm saying? That's why they was trying to fight in the bushes and not really blow the place up, because you there to get the rubber. So you can't blow up the rubber trees. You can't blow the rubber up. So you stuck. That's why they fought like that. Or they would have blew it up. They would have just dropped the atom bomb on it. It would have been over. But then you lose the rubber. Listen, where y'all think y'all getting all these tires from? Where you think Uniroyal, Firestone? So they just cut a deal. They just cut a deal. Heroin ain't worth as much money as rubber. This is heroin money. This is rubber money. Every plane tire, rubber. Every truck, rubber. Every motorcycle, every car. Every car don't need heroin. Every truck don't need heroin. Every airplane don't need heroin. That's chump change. Rubber is big money. There's various reasons they're not going to tell you. You think they're going to tell you what I'm telling you? They're not going to tell you. I'm the only one who can say this, so it ain't going to be nowhere. Listen, a lot of stuff I say, I'm the only one say. It ain't even in no book. I'm really him. Rubber. None of you heard anything about rubber till I said, tell me I'm lying. Have one person heard the word rubber mentioned with Vietnam since you've been alive? Yes or no? You ain't even know it was rubber over there. Where we get the rubber from? We get the rubber from the South Pacific. Vietnam got some of the most rubber. You can't blow up the rubber. Same thing in Iran. They can't blow up the oil. They try not to blow up the oil installations. They want to go and get the oil. They don't want to have to build all that over again. They went to Karg and they didn't blow up the oil. They blew up the jets in the military. They trying to pick around Iran. They don't want to blow up Iran. They don't want to blow up the money. They don't want to have to rebuild the infrastructure for the oil. Iran's the one threatening to blow up the oil. Why would Iran blow their own oil up? Because they know that's what they're after. They're after the oil. Let me ask you something. What happened right before America went to Iran? They went to Venezuela, right? Who got the most oil in the world? Look, and who's number 3? If you're smart, you'll watch and learn. Who's number 1? Venezuela. Who's number 3 in the world? Iran. What is this war over? So it's just coincidentally they went and took the oil from Venezuela, and now it just happened to be beefing with Iran. It's like it just happened. It's just like accidentally. They just accidentally beefing with two of the top oil producers in the world. That's just a coincidence. That's just a happenstance. So you wondering why America just ain't going in there and just blowing it up? They're not trying to blow the oil up. So they trying to surgically remove the bad guys, but they ain't trying to really, it ain't no real war because they would just level the place. So y'all don't believe that America could just drop an atom bomb on Iran and it just be over? Like, how long did the war with Japan last? What happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Y'all don't believe they got a bomb worse than the bomb they dropped on Japan? Y'all don't believe they could drop a bomb on that area and wipe all them out? They could wipe out the Saudis, Iraq, and Iran. You don't believe that? You don't believe they got a weapon that'll wipe all that out? It'll be quiet. Y'all don't believe that? Y'all don't believe they could blow that place up? They can extract all Americans out, say, come out, and boom, it's gone. If it was a real war, they'll blow it up. See, Japan, that was a real war. How did that work out? Japan was a real war. How long did that war last? I thought so. So all that America can't win, that's because these babies, they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. And if they don't nuke you or drop an atom bomb on you, that's because there's valuables there. They're going to take L for the money. They're going to lose some soldiers, right? Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? You're not the type of person nobody wants to talk to because you're just one-sided. So it's not a good conversation. You're just weird. Who would want to talk to you? Look, I blocked you. Look how you keep coming back. Come on, you're a real OG. What real OG get blocked and come right back riding on somebody's nizzle-wizzles? But you ain't no OG chasing behind me like that. Stop chasing behind me. You know what I'm saying? Stand on something, bro. You looking crazy. Come back tomorrow though. You know what I'm saying? You looking crazy. He ain't none of that. Boy, he ain't no guy. He talking about, I'm a real OG. That's when you know. All right? Don't know real players or nobody be saying no corny shit like that. You ain't gonna never hear me call myself no OG. What the hell? I'm just Pharaoh. I ain't no real OG. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't no real OG. He a real OG. He's real. He's not a fake OG. He's a real OG. He's a real OG. I know a lot of OGs. For some reason, none of them is ever in my chat. You know, only real OG. That's crazy. George Makins over here, you don't see him act like that. George really was outside. You'll never see him say nothing like that. George was really outside, like outside. You'll never see him say nothing like that ever in his life. Nobody really like that, say that kind of shit. And we don't be testing each other like, no, we don't do all that. We don't do that. We're not trying. We got children. We got wives and children and grandchildren. We ain't doing that. I ain't no real OG. I ain't no real. I ain't no real OG. That's a little crazy. I would never call myself no shit like that. I'm just Pharaoh. Well, I ain't no real damn OG. What the hell is that? I definitely ain't no real OG arguing about no, they're gonna lose. America gonna lose this one. America gonna lose. He want America to lose so bad he live in America. See, let me tell y'all something. Let's talk about that. Because I know some people figure, why aren't you against America? You know why? Because I'm smart. I live in the United States of America. I do not want America to lose. Duh. That's like you live on a house on Main Street, your friend live on a house on Carpenter, and you betting that the house on Main Street get blowed up. That's that weirdo. He wants his own country where he live at. He might not be from the U.S. He might be a trader just watching us too. But who living in the U.S. want the U.S. to lose? Because people ask me, they say, so you want Trump to win? You cheer for America? Listen, I'm not cheering for nobody. I don't got nothing to do with the war. They just started fighting. I found out the same way y'all found out. So America started fighting Iran. I don't got nothing to do with it. But I got a dog in the fight because I live in Chicago. I do not want Iran to win. Duh. But not because I love Trump, because of my own self-interest. I'm in America. Duh. So no, I don't want America to get messed up. Duh. And so when people be emotional over it, they ain't smart. Who the hell live in America want America to lose? But an idiot. You know how stupid you got to be in America and cheer for Iran? You got to be slow as hell. You got to be crazy. I hope Iran blow up all our gas stations and shut up all our water supplies and we don't have no food. Basically, that's what you said. I mean, unbelievable. What? So I'm not in it, I'm just chilling. I find out Trump is fighting Iran. I live in Chicago. You say, Pharaoh, what you think about Trump fighting Iran? I'm going to be F Iran. Shit. The hell with Iran. Well, I don't care nothing about Iran. I live in Chicago. Well, I don't care. I don't care if anybody got to lose. It need to be Iran. I don't know. It need to be them. It don't need to be nothing over here need to lose. Where I'm at, I don't know. Yeah, it's USA. That's where I live at. I had somebody ask me, so why you act like you want America to win? I just shook my head. I said, what? So I asked her, I said, so you asking me why I don't want to get blowed up? She's like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. And you didn't think at all, sweetie. You asking me why I don't want Iran to blow me up. Man, F Iran. I want Iran to lose. What is you talking about? Whoop them, stomp them out, all that. What? Come on, man. I don't give a damn about Iran. I care about the America where I live at. It's self-preservation, baby. They say, so you support Trump in this fight? Yes. Yes, I didn't tell him to fight. He's fighting on his own. Once he start fighting, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? You ever been in a club? You and your boy go to the club, three of y'all go to the club. One of your boys drunk, he always acting a fool. You ain't got nothing to do with dude. He run up on four guys. He start talking crazy to one of the four guys. You looking at him crazy. You with him. Now the four guys want to whoop y'all. Now, can you cop out and be like, no, you gotta just fight with dude and deal with him later. You're not gonna let these four dudes whoop you just because dude started it. Of course, you don't agree with him started it, but once it started, it's up. You got to get out of there alive. So we finna whoop these four dudes, and then we'll deal with dude when we get out of here. We're not gonna be like, I hope dude lose. I hope my dude I'm with, I hope we lose. You know what I'm saying? That's the real OG. He like, I hope they blow my mama house up and my grandmama house. Anyway, he said, I hope they blow the O off my G. He just gonna be the G off his O. He just gonna be an O. They're gonna blow the G off. He said, I hope they blow the G off my O. Now he cheering for the Iranians. Like a real OG. The G must stand for goofy. Real old goofy. I don't know what your G stand for. You know, what your G? It don't stand for no gangster, because ain't no gangster. Not no gangster ain't arguing on YouTube in the chat. Right? That's the first thing. That's the first thing. I used to be kind of like a hustler like that. I would have never been over here if I was on some OG. You know, I wouldn't be over here. I'm retired. I ain't no OG on YouTube. That don't sound right. That don't sound right. I'm retired. But yeah, the hell with Iran. I don't. It's the USA. Period. Get them out the way, knock them back, go get the oil, boom. So we can have oil in our car. If they don't got no oil in their car, tough titty. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I had my friend, he said the world is corrupt. And he said, Pharaoh, it looked like you supporting a world that's corrupt. I'm like, listen, man, once the world is corrupt and you in the world that's corrupt, and you don't make no decisions if you can make it uncorrupt, it's all about survival at that point. Period. So then his wife talking about, so what would Christ do? That's what she said. She didn't like my answer. She said, so what would Christ do? I said, just what he do, get crucified there and kill him. She was mad. I said, he'll do exactly what he did. Get nailed his ass to the cross. Woo! Boy, she was wanting me to get out of the house when I said that. Christ, come on, that didn't even end good for dude. I'm not Christ. I ain't going like that. I know it's a soft, beautiful story. Come on, what would Christ do? What did Christ do? He got killed. I don't know. I thought dude got killed. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Boy, she was mad. Ooh. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you brought him up. What you bring him in this for? He took an L, okay? God had to help him and bring him back to life, or whatever y'all's story is. You know what I'm saying? They did him dirty. What you talking about? What do you mean, what would Christ do? I don't know. I ain't Christ. So I don't know. I know this. They already started fighting. and the country I lived in jumped in it. So what do you want me to do? Self-preservation is everything. When the president jump in it, you in it already. You understand? Let it in and then say, man, you shouldn't have did all that. But as far as cheering against somebody when they in the battle, to me, that's negative. The idea is to stop them from getting in the battle. Now, we could have stopped them from getting in that, cool. I can agree with you but once he get in it and it start being bombs and people get under line, play your position. How you going against a war that's already going? The only way I could see speaking against the war is if it go too long. This the lamest group of young people in the history. Today is day 30, 1 month, and they crying about a 1 month war. 1 month. And they cry. This is what you want. This was too long. It's a month. America lost. How the hell you lose a war in a month? This generation is like fast food. You can tell they fast food. Everything microwave. They even think the war is microwave. They say America lose it in 30 days. Ain't a bomb touched the USA and they say America lose it. Everything in Iran getting blowed up. It's quiet over here and you say America lose it. How? I guess. Ain't no jets getting shot down. Ain't no American ships getting blown up. The whole Iranian fleet is in the bottom of the ocean. And if they blow up, if they shoot down one plane, y'all would say America loses. Although America didn't shot down all they planes, and you didn't say they was losing. Like they basically lost already. If you judge Iran as harshly as you judge America, then how were they doing? If America plane gets shot down and you say we losing and all they planes been shot down and all they ships been sunk and all they surface-to-air missiles been destroyed and a lot of 1/3 of where they hide their weapons been blowed up, you're not saying they lost, but we one plane, they said we losing. Or one little incident and we lose. And everything can happen to them and they not losing. Every commander they had got wiped out. They went to a meeting, 9 of them, they all got wiped out. They picked a new dude, he got blowed up. You ain't seen him since. You ain't say he losing. Dude's son took over. They blowed him up the next day or so, right? They blew up his daddy and all of the leaders, right? How is that losing? I be tripping. The Iranian had that Ayatollah, and he had a meeting with all his guys, and they wiped them all out in one hit. Right? Nobody said they was losing. Then they picked his son. They blowed him up. They say his face disfigured and his leg is messed up. Now nobody reporting that his face is disfigured. Right? Now, that's a good point. Same thing with Russia. Russia, same situation. Let's deal with that. Russia not losing. I'm glad you said that. Now, let's look at that. Same situation with Russia. I'm going to tell you why this war is going so long. This is a map of the Ukraine. On your left is Ukrainians. On your right, the brown and gold area, those are Russians. Up the top, that's Russia. So all of this brown and gold and beige area is the Ukraine. To your right, where it say the Donbass region, this whole area on the right is the Donbass region. Those are Russians. Now the Ukrainians have been picking on the Russians that live in the Ukraine for years and years and years, terrorizing them. They've been begging Putin to come save them. So Putin's trying to save the Russians that live in the Ukraine. He keeps telling Zelensky, just let us have the Russian part where the Russians live and stop mistreating our people, because Zelensky is a Nazi. And these on the right is Russians. So these is Russians, them in the beige is Nazis. If you know anything about the Nazis, Hitler invaded Russia. So Russians don't like Nazis. Zelensky is a Nazi. You can see it. So Russia is trying to get them to annex this gold and brown part so that the Russians can be Russians, because they say they don't want to be under the Ukrainian flag. They want to be under the Russian flag. So Russia can't just go in there and blow up the Ukraine because they don't want to hurt the Russians. So they're trying to surgically fight the Ukrainian on the left side without hurting the Russians on the right side. This is why I'm telling y'all, you have to know what's going on with these wars or you'll get it twisted. Russia could have been wiped out the Ukraine. But Russia don't want to wipe out the Ukraine. They just want Zelensky to free the Russians on the right and stop terrorizing the Russians. If you don't know that story, that's just the difference between me and everybody else. You know how many Americans don't know? For the last 12 years or so, the Ukrainians been car bombing and doing everything to this side on the right to the Russians. They've been begging Putin to come save them. Now, Putin is trying not to, he don't want to hurt the Ukrainians. Okay? I'm giving y'all knowledge, so listen. He don't want to hurt the Ukrainians. All right? Why? I'm going to show you. Putin is trying to play nice. The reason Putin don't want to destroy the Ukrainians, the reason Putin don't want to go to war with America, the reason Putin don't want to go to war with Europe is because Putin knows that white people are his people. He's really the king of white people because he lives in where the Caucasians come from. See, this is the greatest Caucasus. This is the Caucasus Mountains. This is where white people was living after the flood and all that. So Putin don't really want to hurt white people because Russia is their fatherland. You see it say Caucasia? So he's trying not to hurt them for cultural reasons. because they all come from here. This is where white people come from. All of them. They come from these Caucasus Mountains. So he's trying to surgically do this without, he don't want to go down in history as hurting a bunch of white people. He don't like Zelensky, but Zelensky come from where he at. He don't come from where Zelensky's at. All these white Americans, they come from there. The British, the Dutch, all of them, they all come from there. Russia is their fatherland. So when you look at Putin, now you understand, when you see how he moved, you'll understand why he moved like that. Anybody with any sense knows Russia could decimate the Ukraine. But he don't want to do it. That's why Putin had no problem showing that Christ was black. It don't bother him. Because he don't believe in hiding what's black or hiding what's white. He's cool with white. He don't need Christ to be white. He want Christ to be whatever he is because he's white and he's proud of it. So he not doing no fake religion and hiding black people's accomplishments, because the Putin hiding black people's accomplishments is not recognizing white people. He just want to be honest about white people, their real history. So the Putin, when you make Christ white, to him that's disrespectful. You see what I'm saying? Psychologically, him in the mind, that's disrespectful. He like, that wasn't no white man. You know what I'm saying? He not looking at it like, oh, honor blacks. No, he looking at it like, dude wasn't white. We white. Christ was not white. Stop saying he was white. He was not one of us. That's what he's standing on. That's why he got a certain attitude. That's why blacks don't bother him no whole lot. They don't necessarily believe in mixing it, but he don't believe in like hating like that blacks. The Ukrainians was the ones hated blacks because they Nazis. Putin is just pro-white. He not anti-black. So that's what's going on with him. He don't want to hurt white people. That's what's going on in the Ukraine. He just want them to free the Russians in this gold and brown part. That's all. Zelensky and them been mistreating them people. Bad. America will not tell the truth. See, here we go, another on this weird stuff. It's on some who winning, who losing stuff. You understand? And I keep telling you how Russia losing when Russia don't want to blow them up. You just can't teach. Some of y'all is young. I just can't teach you nothing. I'm a mighty media. You just slow. I can't teach you nothing. You like a little kid who winning and who losing. I can't teach you nothing. You bad for my chat. There is no losing in war. No such thing as losing in war. There's no losing. There's no winning. There's no such thing as winning and losing in war. And war is only by the final decision. You either win or you lose. There's no losing in war. Especially you men. Are y'all listening to me? There's no such thing as losing in war. There's no such thing as losing or winning in war. War is only judged by the end of it. You can't judge war in the middle. There's no such thing as losing. There's no such thing as winning or losing. There's no zing on it. War is only finalized. At the end of the day, you're going to win or you're going to lose or you're going to work out an agreement. There's no such thing as losing. Same in the fight. I'm fighting you, you punching me. I'm not losing because I could still, what if I knock you out? So how was I losing when you got knocked out? A fight only be judged by the end of the fight. You either win or you lose. There's no such thing as losing. That's called fighting. That's called fighting. And when you're fighting, he hit you, you hit him. He might hit you a few more times, you hit him a few more times. Stop listening to these weirdos that when somebody get hit, they tell you they losing. There's no such thing as that in war. War only goes by the final results. Nothing in the middle don't matter. This is especially for the men. Nothing in the middle don't matter. I'm just telling you. If I'm in a gang and you in the gang and y'all hit us, but you're not winning. You hit us, but there's no winning in an actual fight. There's only you win or you lose. There's no winning. There's no losing. No such thing. Perfect example. He said Russia losing, right? 2 years ago, they were saying Russia was winning, right? All right, which one is it? Are they winning or are they losing? Now the Ukraine got no young men. All the young men is unalive. They ain't never coming back. How they winning? There's no such thing as that in war. So when you're watching this situation in Iran, with Iran and America, stop listening to people telling you, oh, America losing. Oh, that's no such thing. There's no such thing. These are lames. These aren't war tacticianers. Just because you blow up a bunch of my tanks, that don't mean nothing. That's war. That's not winning. That's not losing. I blow your stuff up, you blow my stuff up. How you going to decide who winning? It's a war. There's no such war where, oh, just one side just blowing everything up and nothing's happening to them. It's a war. And so you look at a situation when they shoot down some American planes, they say America losing. These are people, these is kids or got a kid mind. A war cannot be measured like that. That's just another day in war. Because other than that, then you would have to say that the only way America win, they got to get in a war and never get hit. What's the opposite? If America get in a war and 3 jets get shot down, you say they lose it. What's the opposite to winning? Nothing get shot, nothing get hit. That's not a war. There's casualties in war. Casualties don't mean losing. And so even though Even though Iran has took the most damage, that's all you say in war. Iran took the most damage. But there ain't no losing. They're taking the most damage. I don't know how they take the most damage and America's losing. See, this is why it don't make no sense. I don't know how your whole Navy's in the bottom of the ocean. See what I'm saying? And America's losing. But this one I try to tell you, just because your Navy in the bottom of the ocean don't mean you losing either. They y'all are. What they're doing is they're fighting. And when you're fighting, there is no winning, losing. You either win or you lose. When you watch boxing, at the end, somebody's hand go up and somebody don't. And whatever happened until then don't really matter. And then with boxing, they be cheating and they got scores. They don't got no scores in war. There are no judges' scores. The Ukrainians is Nazis, for sure. But they don't, the only problem they got with them, they just want them to leave the Russian people alone on this right side. Now, the reason, okay, now, I'm glad you said something, Exabir. Now, what's behind all of this is, even though the Ukrainians is mistreating the Russians on this right side, on the east, they got all of the sunflower seeds, all of the grains, right? So that's why Ukraine don't want to give this section to Russia, because they grow all the food, all that sunflower seed oil and soybeans. A lot of that comes from the part where the Ukrainians live. But you got to understand, all that was the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union became Russia, those people on this side got left down there. Because this used to be ancient Ukraine. This used to be Ukraine. Then it was the Soviet Union. And then they switched it back and made it Ukraine and made that top part that's like Russia. But Russians was already down there. So now these Ukrainians is mistreating these Russians. Not only are they mistreating the Russians is sitting on the most valuable farmland. So it's two things going on. So they don't want to give Russia this Donbass region on the right, because that's all the money. But all they had to do was leave the Russian people alone and work out a deal. But they was mistreating them people down there. America ain't telling you that, because America's using the Ukraine to test out their weapons and to watch the Ukraine so they can study Russia. So America's using this conflict to study Russia. That's why Russia ain't just really winning, because Russia is not want to show America its secrets. So Russia's not fighting all the way, because they know that's what America want to see them do. America want to see Russia really come out with everything they got, and Russia don't want to do that because they know America's watching, trying to see Russia's main weapons and all that, and Russia don't want to pull that stuff out. That's what's going on with that war. America is using that war to watch Russia to see how they fight. Russia's not fighting the way they fight because they know America's watching. You understand? It's a lot going on. So Russia like, nah, we're not going to show our hand. We're not going to pull out our weapons that we might need for you or China. We're not pulling that stuff out. We'll fight them with this old stuff. We're not showing you our stuff. So that's what America got. That's why America's watching. Meantime, America let all this stuff happen to Ukraine because the Ukraine didn't join NATO. And America like, yo, you didn't join NATO, the hell with you. But the Russians was like, if they would have joined NATO, we would have blew it up, regardless. We would have pulled all the Russians out, we would have blew it up. We can't have NATO that close to Russia like that. We don't want NATO all up, you see what I'm saying? That's another thing going on. Russia don't want that to be NATO right there close to Russia like that. NATO is Germany, England. They don't want another country to be NATO and they surrounded by NATO like that. They don't want that. It's a lot going on with that. But it ain't no losing. Russia's not losing. Russia's just not doing what they could do to win. And once again, what you want Russia to do? Blow up all of the graves? See? They can't blow this up. That's all the food. Same situation that's going on in Iran. They can't blow the oil up. So they got to try to do a surgery. They got to have a war with a surgery. They can't blow it up. They want the natural resources. So it's not a real war. They're being held hostage by the oil. They trying to fight without damaging the oil. That's why they brought the Marines. That's why they're going to take Karg, because Karg is where the Iranians get most of their oil. America's trying to protect that island. That's where most of their oil is at. Why you think America didn't blow that up? America went to Karg Island and blew up all of their military, but did not touch the oil. That show you what's going on right there. Somebody else got some questions? I'm showing y'all what's going on, this oil. The innocent citizens, the reason America is not unalive the innocent citizens, because the innocent citizens hate the Iranian regime. That's another reason I don't support Iran. I don't support Iran at all. I don't like Iran. Iran needs to lose. I don't like Iran, none. Yeah, I don't like Iran. Yeah, I do not like Iran. I don't like Iran at all. So I'm definitely extra biased on Iran. I don't like Iran. I want to see Iran get slammed. That leadership. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I don't like Iran none. Not a bit. And you read this, you'll see why. The Iranian regime unalived 30,000 to 35,000 protesters. Iranians. Their own people. This happened this year and just a couple months ago. That's what started all of this. That Iranian government unalived protesters, Iranian protesters, 30 to 35,000. And you got people over here cheering for Iran, and Iran unalived 30, 35,000 of its own people. The U.S. ain't unalived 30,000 Iranians, but the Iranians unalived 30,000 Iranians. Protesters, too. So I don't like Iran because they some punks. You unalive people with sides, protesters. Protesters not even no threat. Iran got to go. That's when you say, well, Dad, you seem like you got something against her. I definitely got something against Iran because I came up protesting. Protesting is a part of my life. Protesting, MLK and them protested. The hippies protested. The 420 movement protested. The cannabis movement protested. George Floyd, we protested. Rodney King, we protested. Nobody shot down and unalived no 35,000 Americans for protesting. That regime got to go. So this just show you they not trying to hurt Iranians because the Iranians was the protesters. Most Iranians hate that government. I'm showing you clearly. If they unalived 35,000 Iranians, how many Iranians' relatives was those? How many Iranians is relatives of the 35,000 they unalived? And if they unalived 35,000, how many got wounded? So you're easily looking at what, 40,000 wounded, 45,000 altogether, unalived and wounded, maybe even more than that. How many people got wounded? Iranians. This is the Iranian regime did to the Iranian people. That's why I tell y'all, America's just trying to remove the regime because the Iranian people hate that regime. Now, who's going to support Iran when they unalive 35,000 protesters that wanted change in the government? They unalived them. And you got some weirdos over here supporting Iran. And Iran would have unalived you for standing up for marijuana rights or Black Lives Matter or anything. They would have unalived you. Now, keep it real. You telling me you on Iran's side? So that's the personal part I got in. That's why I don't like the Iranian regime. But I'm showing you this to show you they don't represent the Iranian people. So the United States is not trying to hurt the Iranian people. They're trying to remove that wicked regime that was hurting the people. America's on the righteous side right now. That's a fact. With pay, and they get paid too. They get a chance to be the liberators, and they get to have more control of the oil. And in Iran, the Iranian people over there chanting, USA, USA, we love Donald Trump. Right now in Iran. Right now in Iran, the Iranian people love Donald Trump and the USA. Did you know that? The Iranian people love the USA and Donald Trump from saving them from that wicked regime. Let's take a break. I bet you didn't know that. None of them people come over here running their mouth. They don't know none of that. They just be talking. Look, let me show you how wicked they is. Remember when the war first started and all the children got unalived? The children is on the side of the protesters. The crooked Iranian regime, you know where they hide? They hide amongst the Iranians they don't like. So the Iranians that want to change the government, they'll build a military facility under a school. around the innocent people. So they'll have weapons and stuff around the people. So that when they shoot at you and you shoot back, you hurt innocent people. They hide, the Iranian military, they hide amongst the innocent Iranians so that you can't hurt them. Because if you shoot at us, you're going to hit the innocent people. I'm telling you. That's how wicked they are. They use the decent citizens for camouflage and for protection. And when they blew up all their leaders, they was right next to a school. That's how the children got hurt. The children got hurt because they'll have their meetings at a school where kids is at. For real. They hide behind the citizens. I'm telling you, better go look it up. Them people evil as hell. The regime that's running that country, man, they wicked. The people hate them. They got all them people doing all that holy Islam, and they got all that oil. Do y'all believe that wicked leadership in Iran is holy or rich? You think they really doing that holy stuff and they got all that oil? And they got the people doing all that holy praying and pouring stuff? Y'all really believe that leadership is living the same life as they got them people living? No. They got them people praying all day. They got them people running, walking around with cheap cloth on and stuff. And they got Rolls Royces and come on. They not even practicing Islam like the poor ones. Y'all believe that? Y'all believe that rich leadership is practicing the same Islam as the poor ones? No. And so when they say America's not really at war with Iran, America's trying to extract that wicked leadership. Because how could you say America's at war with Iran when Iran unalived Iranians? 35,000 Iranian protesters that was protesting their government. You think it's a coincidence that happened in January and America went in there at the end of February? That's why America went in there. Why ain't nobody telling that? Why ain't nobody telling that America went in there right after this happened? A month later, America ran up in there. Why? Because America said we can remove this regime and these people will take over and run the country and we ain't got to run it. That's why. So, when America say they're negotiating, they're not negotiating with the current leadership. They are negotiating with the new Iranians that's going to run that country. That's why you hear the wicked Iranians that unalive their own people saying, no, they're not negotiating with us. Trump and them just laughing. No, we're not negotiating. We negotiating with who finna run the country. You got to read between the lines. So when you hear Trump saying we talking peace, we talking a transition, he know what he doing. Y'all think, and then the bad guy said, no, we ain't talking to him, but he ain't talking about them. He don't consider them the government. He talking to the new government. Young people, I'm giving you game. You're going to look up. The plan is to knock down that regime, knock down their military while training the new people. And one day you're going to turn on the news. There's going to be a bunch of Iranians going to run into the Capitol and say, yes, we free. And they're going to announce their new president. So when they told you the Kurds came in, the Kurds came in to train the new regime. When they tell you the Marines came in, The Marines came in to do what? They didn't come in to fight a lot. The Marines came in to walk in a new regime. Watch. The Marines ain't really there to fight and stuff. The Marines are there because they finna walk the new regime in about 4 weeks. About 4 or 5 weeks, they're going to have the new regime ready. You remember I told you, there's going to be a guy going to be the new leader. And when you see that new leader, you say, Pharaoh said that. Y'all don't think they prepping the new leader? Y'all don't think they got the new leader somewhere? They got the new leader and a whole new military and a whole new government already. Y'all don't believe that? Y'all don't believe the United States already talking to their new government? Iranians that hate their regime. They already got everybody that's finna walk in and run that place. They just weakening the military so the other Iranians could take over. Because the 20% was using all them weapons to control the 80% and was running over the 80%. That's a fact. Look. Imagine if America shot down 35,000 protesters. What would everybody say? When they had the No King's Day. What if Trump shot down 35,000 protesters and no king? What would y'all say then? Oh, he'd be the worst person ever. But the Iranians that run Iran shot down 35,000 of their people. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Y'all saying America should leave them alone. No, they shouldn't. America should get them the hell out of there so the Iranians can run their own country and get them pirates out of there. The people that's running Iran do not represent Iran. They don't represent the Iranian people. How could they represent the Iranian people and unalive 35,000 protesters? Somebody come up here to my here, real OG. What kind of real OG gonna stand up for somebody that's shooting protesters with signs? That's gangster. Put it in the chat, yes or no. If I run the country, am I a gangster if I unalive protesters with signs? That's gangster. That's why he a real OG supporting some dudes that unalive protesters. That's why I don't like them, because that's punk. That's a punk. Them ain't punks. That ain't a punk move. If I'm the president of the United States, if I unalive some people with some signs, that ain't no punk. Who do that? Let's just be honest. If I run the United States and I unalive some people with some signs, that's why I don't like them. Because I know y'all like, well, why you don't like the Iran government? Because they unalive protesters. Who do that? Protesters is like people with signs. I used to sell at, like I said, 420 protests when they was protesting legalizing cannabis. They don't know. See, this information ain't being told. So I'm not mad at them. They don't know all of this. They got to watch me to know this. Like nobody's saying this. I'm really the only one. Nobody's saying what's really going on. Nobody knows. Very few people know this. Very few people know this. Very few people know that. Very few people know. People think it's America against Iran. It's not. This is really not a war. This is the United States trying to surgically remove, right, a group. This is the United States trying to surgically remove the leadership. They're not fighting Iran. The Ayatollah was a demon. You know what the Ayatollah was? The Ayatollah was an old ass man that they had punked. And the people around him ran everything, and he had to shut up and just be the figurehead. If you look at him, you could tell he wasn't running the country. The Ayatollah was not running the country. His son was more powerful than the daddy. The son was the more powerful than the daddy was just a figurehead. This is how wicked they was. He didn't run nothing. He was just a figurehead. All the underlings, all the generals and stuff, they the ones was eating. They the ones ran everything. That old man wasn't making them decisions. That's why as soon as he got knocked off, the son ran in there. The son was the evil one. Him and them generals ran everything. That daddy didn't run nothing. He was just a figurehead. He wasn't responsible for it. Probably was senile. He probably didn't even know where he was at. So that's why I don't like him. But I try to tell the news and not show it. But I don't like that government. That government got to go. That government got to go. I don't like them. I don't like them. Once I found out they unalived protesters, man, that's all I needed to know. To me, they some punks. I don't like them. I don't really do hearsay, Telvin. I don't do all the gossip and hearsay. It's social media. So I don't do hearsay. When you start saying people say this and that, I do not listen to the internet. I don't listen to the internet. The internet got too many conspiracy nuts. I don't listen to the internet. The internet be like, Meek Mills is in the Epstein files. I don't listen. The internet, I got to have some real substantial information. I do not listen. And that's one of the problems, Telvin. A lot of people they come up with internet gossip that never is verified, never can be proven. Just saying anything. And then when they put internet gossip out there, and then it's not verified, they say they hiding the truth. And what they do, they make up a story. And then when the government don't stamp the bullshit story, they say they hiding the truth. But Telvin, let me tell you something. You can't hide no military war information. Period. If anybody tell you in a military war like that, with ships and stuff getting blown up and people being unalive, that you can hide it, they crazy. They crazy. If they hit a carrier, they didn't do no damage. They didn't do nothing to that carrier. That was all fake, Devon. I'm trying to tell you. I told that story. That carrier, if you hit it, it ain't gonna do nothing but bounce off. You can't damage that carrier. That junk they got can't do nothing to that carrier. Listen, Devon, this is what I'm trying to tell people. It's war. Tanks are made to get hit. Carriers are made to get hit. So when they get hit, because they ain't teaching our people nothing, they think that's something big. But it was made to be hit and absorb the hit. But they like, oh, if you get hit, oh, they hit it. It's like, brother, it's a war. What? This is what I'm trying to teach, Devin. They teaching young people like you get in a war and you don't get touched. And no missile, no plane gets shot down. If a plane gets shot down, oh, you lose it. What? So they think it's a war with no casualties. If it's any casualties, you lose it. A war. If they shoot a drone and they hit it and they blow up 10 men, they're like, America loses. I'm like, Lord have mercy. You see what I'm saying, Devin? It's a war. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, Devin. It's unbelievable. They got the young generation just all messed up. Yeah, they okay. They run them. Yeah, the Devin. They got the young generation messed up. They think that you just don't get touched. That it's just a war. Hey, Devin, they got them thinking that we go out here with all this military stuff and we don't get touched. So soon as a missile fall, like they went out there and tore up all of the American spots they had, and they're like, see, they tore up all the Americans. Wasn't no soldiers there. They know you was gonna go tear it up. Ain't nobody there. They pulled everybody out of all of them small areas they had, all of them little barracks and stuff. They was empty. They're not gonna leave you there to take no punishment. They're gonna bring you where the majority of the troops is at. So the other day they hit all these little barracks in different areas. They're like, see, man, it's like, bruh, they know that was gonna happen. That's why nobody was there. It's a war. You in a helicopter, it might get hit. You in a jet, it might get hit. That's what it's made for. I think a U.S. jet got hit the other day. It was like, see, man, they playing with Iran. But when all Iran's whole navy got sunk, what the hell? Their whole navy's in the bottom of the ocean. And they don't say, and these Americans. So I'm like, why is the Americans so picky with the American military and giving all these pads to the Iranian military that's getting decimated? If the American military was getting decimated like the Iranian military, they'll be like, oh man, we lost all our ships. But the Iran got all their ships in the bottom of the ocean and they ain't saying nothing. They ain't saying they getting mollywopped, which they are. They getting whopped out. But they not losing because there's no such thing as losing, right? There's no such thing as losing until it's over. I don't think I think I think young Americans, I don't think they understand war. I don't think they really mean no harm. I don't think they understand war. And I think a lot of people, they're not looking at a war. They don't like Donald Trump. So they don't like Donald Trump, so they cheering against all the men that's putting their life on the line because they don't like Trump. It's a weird internet group. They the stupidest group we ever had. So they don't like Trump. So if some servicemen go out there and lose their life, they say, see, because they don't like Trump. At the same time, without those servicemen, you wouldn't be walking around here right now. Iran would run up in here. See, but they ain't thinking about Iran would run up in here and make all of this Islamic law and all that. It wouldn't be funny then. Yeah, they don't like Trump. They don't like Trump, but what they don't understand is once the war starts, all that got to get canceled till it's over. So the Democrats is out of order. Because once the war starts, all they got to get canceled. And this is why he didn't include the Democrats, because they wasn't ready for war. They wanted to play politics when it's necessary for a war. And for sure, when he said they can't have no nuclear weapon, Americans is just slow. Because anybody that practices Harry or that'll blow themselves up cannot have a nuclear weapon. Under that fanatical Islam, you cannot have a nuclear weapon. You have to be a more sane nation to have a nuclear weapon. You can't give nobody that'll unalive themselves. Which one of y'all would give a nuclear weapon to some people that'll unalive themselves so they could get to see Allah? You would give them a nuclear weapon? Just be honest. You think a fanatical Muslim that'll unalive themselves should have a nuclear weapon? Seriously. Ain't no way them people can have no nuclear weapon with that crazy religious philosophy. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. They no. People that got nuclear weapons need to want to stay alive. Not no lunatics. This is why they didn't want the Japanese to have no atom bomb stuff, because they was practicing Harry Kitty. They believe in crashing their planes. In Japan, the suicide rate is through the roof. They jump in front of trains regularly. Did you know that? They call it Harry Kitty. Look it up. The husband just leave wife, leave home, going to work, and the train comes, he just jump in front of it. Look it up. Look at how many people in Japan jump in front of trains. You can't give them no nuclear weapon. Why you think America really dropped the atom bomb on Japan? Because the Japanese were just crashing their planes inside them. They say, hey, man, these people got to go. What kind of soldier just get in the plane and just crash it while you in it trying to win the war? Man, y'all got to go. Y'all can't have no atom bomb. Y'all can't have no big bomb. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't, no disrespect to Japan. Y'all can't have no big bomb. Bombs need to be for people like me that I ain't unaliving myself under no circumstance. My family know. If I'm on life support, don't unplug me. Don't unplug me. Listen, if I'm on life support, all my family know. Don't unplug me. Wait till the thing I stop working. Just when you come in there and I'm laying there and it's going beep, beep, just take the thing out of my mouth, put a spliff in my mouth, or blow me a shotgun. But don't unplug me. Don't be talking about I wasn't responding. I don't got to respond. Wait till I stop working. Period. Yeah, I ain't checking out. I don't believe in checking out. I got to get checked out. Yeah, nut stuff. Now they can have a nuclear weapon, Telvin. Hell no. They can't have nothing. They had reduced in 2020. Yeah, because the young people probably ain't with it no more. Yeah, kind of crazy stuff. Listen, we in America, We ain't with that at all. We don't even like crash outs. We don't even like dudes that go do something stupid and go to prison. We be looking at them like, dude, so you just ran out there and shot them all like that and just went to prison? So these little shorties out here that be going and shooting people and just going to prison, can they have a nuclear weapon? No. They just like the Iranian nuts. Put some decent Iranians in there. Don't put the Iranians that crash out. Because I know I'm in Chicago. We got crash outs. We got shorties. They just go and throw their whole life away. Nobody understands it. They just go and just throw their life away. They would try to hold the planet hostage. Yes. They trying to put some decent ones in there and get rid of that fanaticism. That's all. But it's going to be over. That situation over there, it ain't going no. It might barely go another 60 days. I wouldn't be surprised what it's going to be April. I wouldn't be surprised if it be over before April. This ain't going long like that. This going to go. They're going to put a new government in there. And then some of them left from the old government, they're going to be doing little terrorist attacks, mad because they ain't in power no more. That's how it's going to go. They're going to become some little group, and they're going to be living in little areas, and they're going to be doing terrorist attacks because they mad because the old regime is out. That's how that's going to go. They not letting them people get back in there. Them people's crazy. They had that old man in there. He wasn't running nothing. I don't believe the old man was bad. I don't believe he ran nothing. I believe he was sitting there because, like, if you know anything, we Rasta say, the nearer the church, the further from God. And the more holier they act, the more demons they really be. And that just don't go with righteousness. That go for gangsters. If you get around somebody and he's just a super, super gangster, dude is a coward and he'll snitch. The more gangster he is, the more of a B word he really is. I'm telling you. When you see dude, gangsters are the whole, ooh. No, he's not. No. And when you see them all the time, in the name of Jesus, they phony. You don't understand why we got to send ground troops? I tell you why. When you see them sending ground troops, that's a good question. They not sending ground troops for what Americans think they sending ground troops for. They not sending ground troops to just be on the ground around doing stuff. When you see them send ground troops, that means they finna walk in Tehran and announce a new leader. The ground troops is not going to be in Iran. They're going to be in Tehran, marching in the new leadership. And then they'll stay there and they'll train the new army. They're not, because people saying, we don't want ground troops there, but they thinking ground troops like, okay, ground troops are dangerous in Iran, right? Because you got mountains and everything, and they could be sabotaged. So they're not bringing the ground troops in Iran. They're going to bring the ground troops to Tehran, to the city. They're not going to be out there and around in all the mountains, all that. And so for me, I suspect the reason they bring in ground troops, because they're finna be a change of power. And them ground troops is going to walk in with the new military and the new government. And then out on the outside of Tehran, it's going to be surrounded with real military planes and stuff so that they won't be able to do nothing. Because that's the only reason I could see bringing ground troops. It's going to be a transition of power. They're going to march somebody else in there. To me, ground troops mean they got a new leader. What you think, Lion? Don't ground troops seem like, because you was in the military, don't that seem like they here to issue in a new leader? Because I can't see no other reason them to be here. That's the only thing makes sense. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I can see ground troops. They thinking the ground troops gonna be all over. I don't believe they're gonna be over. They're gonna be right in Tehran. Thousands of Marines. It's gonna be locked off. And they say, well, it's like, well, they could do something. The ground troops could do something to you too. They're not there. They're not there to get shot at. They're there to shoot too. Because they already knew not to bring ground troops. They said we got to fight this from the air. So they came in and fought it from the air. So why would they bring in ground troops now? That means they knocked the air out. There's nothing going on, and they have almost secured the area. And then everybody like, the ground troops gonna get unalive. The ground troops be unaliving people. They announcing it. The reason they announcing it because Iran is so weak they can't do nothing about it. Anybody been watching this know Iran is decimated, done pretty much. A couple of more hits, a couple more weeks, Iran is finished. Iran is finished. Anybody been watching this know Iran is finished. Iran been just shooting off. You could tell they desperate. Iran fighting like this now. They just doing anything. They got no structure. Their military decimated. All their ships at the bottom of the ocean. All their planes is gone. Trump said they just flying around. Man, they got maps showing American planes are just flying around Iran with no resistance. I'm telling you, look it up. American planes and drones is just flying around doing reconnaissance just freely. Look it up. They don't got no surface-to-air missiles no more. They done blew up a third of the caves where they got their weapons at. The other places they got weapons, they can't get to them because they got no reconnaissance. They don't control their airspace. The United States and Israel control all their airspace. They pretty much done. And you can look at the attacks Iran launching, and if you didn't know anything about military, you can see they launching attacks to make them appear they're still in it. But anybody know military, those attacks are intentionally done to appear you still in it. That's what it looked like to me. The attacks they've been doing recently look like they trying to save face. They don't look like legitimate attacks because you strong. Not to me. It looked like they trying to make the world think we still in this. That's what the attacks look like to me from Iran. And I'm not just saying that because when I look at stuff like that, I don't mix in I don't like you. See, that's another thing. I don't like Iran, but I don't make no judgments based on liking. So I'm not the type of person that don't like Iran and let that affect how I look at. I'm gonna still look at everything realistically. I'm not gonna start looking at everything unrealistically just because I don't like them. You understand? Just because I don't like them don't mean I'm not going to look at everything realistically. And here go the thing about that. The problem with the past and now is now we in the internet technological era. So what they did before never happened no more. Once you out of there now, your ass gone. So I'm not going to mix. So I don't mix my feelings in my when I analyze. That's you have to practice that. So my feelings, I don't mix that in my analyzing because then I ain't gonna be really analyzing good. I'm gonna be based off of emotions and beliefs. I ain't doing that. I'm still looking at it straight up. And the way I'm looking at their response, I feel like the only reason they kind of in it is because Israel is fighting two wars. I don't know that part. Y'all want me to tell you the truth, what's really going on? If you want me to tell you what's really happened, let me get 10 thumbs up, and that will tell you something that the United States government don't want me to tell you. And I will tell you something that nobody gonna say. Give me 10 thumbs up, and I will tell y'all in the chat, and I will tell y'all something right now that I ain't supposed to say, that ain't nobody gonna say. There go one. I'm gonna say something. 2, 3. I'm gonna tell y'all something I'm not supposed to say. But my chat is gonna be the smartest chat. Okay, we got 4. We only need 6 more. My chat, I ain't supposed to tell y'all, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. What's that? How many is that? Somebody counting? I'm finna tell y'all something I'm not supposed to tell you. I'm finna really tell y'all some gangster shit right now. This the most gangster stuff about this war. Nobody gonna tell you. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 2 more. And I'm gonna tell y'all something I'm really not supposed to say. Where I'm at? I'm at 8. How many I'm at now? Somebody let me know when I get to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. I ain't supposed to tell y'all this. This is why I be getting in trouble. 10. Look, America is the biggest gangster snakes ever. America played Iran and Israel like some suckers. Think about it. America had Israel help them, right? But Israel got an enemy on the other side, right? So they trying to fight Hezbollah and Iran. So Israel's getting decimated. Iran's getting decimated. America played Israel like a sucker. When the war is over, Israel is going to be weak and Iran is going to be under the power of the U.S. The whole time, people were saying that Israel had power over the U.S. Trump and them didn't like that. We thought that America was being punked by Israel, right? Am I lying? Everybody believed APEC, right? The Israelis run America. I don't believe Trump and them like that. They didn't like that. Watch this. Hold on, where's that picture? Look at this picture. You see this picture? It say New Gaza Master Plan. See that? See that? New Gaza Master Plan. Now, who remembers right after Israel destroyed Gaza, who remembered Trump talk about his plans for Gaza? Who remember that? Who remembers Donald Trump talk about his plans for Gaza? I didn't find that picture, but he had another picture of a whole rebuilt Gaza. I didn't want to take time to find it. Who remembers that new Gaza that Trump showed a picture of what Gaza going to look like? Who remember that? In the next few weeks, Israel going to be wiped out almost. They ain't going to be able. Israel ain't going to be able to do nothing with Gaza because it's going to be tore up. Israel took the blunt of the beating, and Israel is getting hit from Hezbollah, from Lebanon, and from Iran. They getting smashed. Their defense system, the Iron Dome, don't work no more. So when you look, Lebanon is getting beat down from Israel. Israel is getting beat down from Lebanon and Iran. Gaza is tore up already. So when this is all done, who's the victor? America's way over here. Now listen, the Iranians shot a missile to Europe and it didn't reach. So they don't got no long-range missiles. You don't think America know that? So America went into war with Iran knowing, well, they can't hit us. Listen, man, America went into the war knowing that Iran ain't got nothing that could touch U.S. soil. And all they got to do is look out for terrorists. But they could hit Israel. And America is not protecting Israel unless I'm crazy. Is America protecting Israel? Y'all ain't noticed America's not protecting Israel. Am I crazy? You don't hear nothing about no American military or nothing in Israel protecting Israel. They got Israel helping them, but they're not helping Israel. Or am I making this up? I need y'all to help me because I might be making stuff up. So if you know something I don't know, let me know because I'm adjust my philosophy. Is America helping Israel at all? They had Israel unalive and all the leadership, right? That was their job. Unalive all the lead. Look, the war went like this. America went in. America was hitting infrastructure. They had Israel hitting Iranian leadership. They were shooting all their drones at Israel. Israel had the Iron Dome. Israel wasted all its defense trying to stop Iran. Right when Israel defense got weak, right? Hezbollah just started hitting them recently. So now Israel getting hit from Hezbollah, getting hit from Iran, because the only people Iran can hit is Israel. They don't got nothing to reach the United States. So Israel is the scapegoat. And Israel's getting decimated. I tell you something else too. They talking about Iran getting decimated. But have you noticed they ain't telling you about Israel? Israel is getting decimated. They shot 2 missiles out in Dimona, where the Black Hebrew Israelites at, by the nuclear power plant. Go back and watch all my news and watch how many stories I told about Israel's getting rocked daily, rocked. And their defense is down. They don't have a lot of those missiles no more. The Iron Dome ain't working. So when it's done, right, based on the mainstream news reports, the U.S. is not participating in the other battles. Yes, not at all. So Israel trying to fight Hezbollah and Iran. And America not helping them. America have brought no military to Israel, ain't defending Israel. Now, Pete Hegseth got a German tattoo. I can't say it's what y'all think, but he got a German tattoo. It looked like when it's done, everybody gonna be knocked down but the USA. That's what it's looking like. It looks like when it's done, Israel gonna have to rebuild everything. Because the way Israel getting hit right now, look, every time America turn up the pressure, Iran can't hit America. So every time they get mad, who they gonna hit? So that means if America turn up more pressure the next 2 weeks, they're gonna decimate what? Israel. It's a high possibility when this is over, Israel be almost totally destroyed. They're not even showing how bad Israel is getting hit. I've been posting it because I've been doing the news, and Israel's getting hit a lot. Every time I post, Israel's getting hit. I've been posting for 30 days, and Israel gets hit every day. A lot. And now more. The people constantly running to the shelters. Iran can't hit the United States. They hitting Israel. Hezbollah hitting Israel. Here's Israel. Here's missiles coming from Iran. Here they are coming from Hezbollah. Bam, bam. And it ain't no way they're going to be able to survive. America, way across the ocean like this. America way over here. We in Chicago. We in New York. We in Philly. We in California. We chilling. There ain't nobody run to no bomb shelters. We ain't hearing no explosions. I'm just saying. So it looked like when it's all done, A lot of them little cities around there going to be tore up. Israel going to be tore up. Iran going to be tore up. And Israel going to be too tore up to do anything. And Gaza going to be tore up. And the only one going to have the money, the only one going to have the oil, because how much is the Saudis paying the U.S. to protect them? And how much are they going to pay the U.S. to open the straits? So let me ask you this. Is the straits closed because America's weak? Or did America leave the straits closed so everybody got to get on their knees and got to pay? Pay us, we'll open it back up. Because I do not believe that Iran had the power to close that strait. America let them do that. So now India, all over the world, they about to have an energy crisis now. If they finna have an energy crisis, if they don't got no oil and gas because the strait is closed, ain't it kind of gangster that everybody gonna be low on gas and all that, and America just took Venezuela? That ain't suspicious. Listen, maybe I'm tripping. This ain't suspicious. America took Venezuela right before they made this move. When they closed the strait, didn't Trump and them act like so? Did America have any desperation? Hey, does America have any desperation over the strait? Because at first I'm watching, and then I never seen no desperation even now. And I know they can open it up. And they like, India, no oil. Our countries, no oil. The Philippines, motorcycles about 1,000 can't get. Chicago, the United States, there's plenty gas. Ain't no gas shortage. They just went up on it a little bit, but ain't no gas shortage in the USA. None. There's no talk of no gas shortage or nothing. There's no panic in the United States. Y'all see any panic? Because I was expecting something last week. I was thinking this week, oh, it's going to get a little funny. But it ain't funny like I thought it was going to be. And then they went down there. They already got oil. They just went and took a bunch of oil from Venezuela. They took all them ships down there and blocked that ocean and took that oil. And I bet you ships is coming back and forth from Venezuela full of oil. I bet you. The Saudis panicking. They ain't making no money because the strait is closed. And you can't say America closed it. You're going to say Iran closed it. But America didn't try to open it. And America ain't desperate. So tell me something. The strait is closed. Why is everybody desperate but here? Because I'm seeing no desperation. Because I was preparing for desperation. But I don't see it. I don't see no food desperation. I don't see no oil desperation or nothing. I see a little price gouging. That's it. Life ain't changed none here in the United States. When I say none, I mean none. when I go outside, everybody just outside just the same way they was. I ain't lying. And Israel took a beating. So Israel ain't gonna be able to fix Gaza. Israel gonna have to fix Israel. So who gonna fix Gaza? This is some of the most gangster stuff I ever seen in my life. I didn't want to tell nobody, but my subscribers, I be telling my subscribers, this is why they demonetized me last time. You know what I'm saying? This is why they demonetized me. They're like, bro, you talk too much. Yeah, they'll eventually open the strait. Yep. But the longer they wait, the better. The longer they wait, the better. He said, look, he said, I listened to the foreign news broadcast. The reporters have mentioned that the U.S. is self-sufficient regarding energy. I really didn't pick up how gangster it was until the last 5 days. Since I've been doing this news, they are decimating Israel. Israel is getting, I think maybe 5, 6 days ago, I started saying, dang, Israel fighting Hezbollah and they fighting Lebanon, the Lebanese and the Iranians. How they gonna do that? I'm like, how they gonna do that? And then after a while, I never seen America step in to help them. America, like, your problem with Lebanon, that's your problem. We, you know what I'm saying? You think if Israel helped you take down Iran, you would help Israel get Lebanon off their back. I don't see America helping Israel none. Yemen just jumped into it, and somebody else too. Somebody else jumped into it. Yemen, Lebanon, somebody else just jumped into it. I got to go look at my notes. But I'm saying, what's America's response on Israel's problem? Thanks for unaliving all the Iranian leadership, and good luck with your war with Hezbollah. I mean, it looked dirty to me. It don't look dirty. They did. Listen, the biggest loser is going to be Israel. You know that, right? When this is all over, who's going to be the biggest loser? It ain't going to be Iran. Iran going to be fine. They're intentionally not letting nobody destroy Iran's oil or nothing. That's why they bringing the Marines in. They bringing the Marines in to go to that island that got all that oil. They ain't bringing them in to go to Iran, to the mainland. They bringing them to that island. To what? Protect that oil. That Karg Island. And when you look at this, when this is all said and done, over the next 7 days, what's going to happen to Israel? When Iran can't hit the United States and Israel the one unalived all their leadership. So they more mad at Israel than anybody. Because Israel the one that wiped out the Ayatollah, wiped out their leader. I'm telling you, man, this is some of the most gangster stuff I ever seen in my life. That ain't no gangster. That's as gangster as they get. Right now, Iran is way more mad at Israel than they are at the U.S. And so Israel Israel's all over the place. And Israel can't even shoot at Iran. They're like, oh, we don't need you to, America like, we don't need you to do nothing else in Iran. You did enough. You know, that Goshen? America's not requiring them to do nothing to Iran. Just find the leadership and wipe them out and go handle your business with Hezbollah, which ain't getting handled well because Israel then wasted a whole bunch of its defense on Iran. So now that Israel wasted all that defense on Iran, they wide open for Hezbollah. Boy, if that ain't no gangster, what's gang? Boy, listen, they wasted all that stuff on the Iron Dome on Iran. If you notice, Hezbollah waited until they had wasted so much defense on Iran. Then Hezbollah started hitting them. It looked planned to me. Because Israel is the most hated. It ain't even the United States. Israel's the most hated because Israel unalived their leadership, right? And Israel basically put the genocide on the Palestinians. So you know them Muslims hate Israel more than anybody. And America not helping Israel, none. America's not helping Israel, none. America's not responding to nothing that happened to Israel or nothing. It don't seem like no American planes is protecting Israel, nothing. It looked like the American planes are just flying over Iran for America's benefit. Israel, you're on your own. Thanks for your service. There's no way Israel going to be able to rebuild Gaza and rebuild Israel. Israel going to have to borrow money from the United States. And America always been in debt. Oh, the ICE agents, they sending people home left and right. They just ain't talking about it no more. Oh, they did that. They did that slick too. Oh, they did that slick. Oh, I'm glad you bought that. They did that slick. They did that slick. They went and switched ICE up and they bought Tom back. And they went quiet. And Tom is locking people up left and right and left. And they ain't saying nothing. Because they realize saying something make people get hostile. So now they locking them up quiet. As a matter of fact, I got a friend in Florida that lived in a building with some Haitians. And that friend said that when it seen the Haitian dude, his hair was all long on his face. It don't look like he was shaved or sleeping. And he told her, ICE grabbed his wife. ICE is grabbing people crazy. But they ain't talking. They grabbing them Haitians left and right and left. But they not saying nothing. They take it out the news. Because they grabbed bro wife. She said he look a mess. They grabbed that man's wife and deported her. They brought him back in and they went dark. They went quiet. They let the war take over the news. The war got the news. When the war's over and they look up, you know how many immigrants gonna be gone? They grabbing them like crazy. Florida, Texas, New York. Oh, they grabbing them. They doing it real quick. They ain't making no news. No more news. Tom Homan came in. He got rid of all that fronting and all them out there. He said, we ain't going to do it. We got to do it back sneaky. We can't be out here with all these ICE agents everywhere. Pop out and pop back in. Pop out, grab a bunch of people, pop in. Yeah, dude, wife gone. Nobody gonna know it happened. She said, Pharaoh, you should see how he look. He ain't shaved or nothing. She was like, he got so many kids, but he been with her. I think she said like a lot of years. They deported that man's wife. That's in Florida. So how many people they deporting in Florida right now? New York. Quiet. Man, this country is super gangster. I ain't gonna lie. Super gangster. That's why they ain't been worried about black Americans. You know why they ain't been worried about black Americans? They're like, y'all finna have plenty of jobs. Watch. Hey, don't worry. It's gonna be jobs everywhere. You watch. Black Americans gonna be making a bank. It's gonna be jobs everywhere because they're gonna throw all these other people out. They're gonna throw them out. And they doing it right in the middle of this war, so nobody know nothing. They looked at Minnesota and said, okay, we can't do it like that no more. We got to go stealth. And when they look up, they're going to be gone. Because there was no news about them being down in Florida. But they down there, and they hitting them. But they ain't hitting them like the way they was. They doing it quiet. They snatch you up and you just gone. Man, Alden, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But the way they played Israel, it don't get no more gangster than that. Because over the last, I'm covering this stuff, and over the last 3 days, I'm like, what is Israel going to do? Israel's getting decimated. I ain't lying. Israel is getting decimated, and they trying to fight on both sides. Man, and ain't nobody saying nothing. They ain't getting no news either. Boy, they not giving them no news. I'm telling you, in the U.S. news, they not giving Israel no news. Israel fighting 2 wars. And they said, Israel had to make a statement. They say, when this war is over, our war with Hezbollah still be going on. That's what they say. I said, y'all, boy, Israel's slow. I'm like, y'all slow. Y'all let them people play y'all like that? And they getting, man, look, I'm going to find, let me see. Let me go look through these. Watch this. Every one I pull up, it's gonna be it's gonna say Israel getting every day. Every day, Israel's getting mollywopped. Every day. And I was looking at it and I was like, why they gotta fight both sides by themselves after they helped the US? I ain't understand that. I'm like, this is sabotage. I was thinking that. I just didn't really have time to really concentrate because I'm constantly doing the news. Right? I'm constantly posting the news, but the news is crazy. I'm going to just give you one example to show you I ain't lying. Watch this. Watch this. I just posted this the other day, and it like they ain't saying nothing. Watch. Every news I did, Israel been getting hit. Y'all been paying attention? Every news I did, there's bad news for Israel. I just did this one. What? Yesterday, the day before? Look what it say. Look what it say. Yemen's Houthi rebels have attacked Israel with a barrage of ballistic missiles. The first such strike since the United States-Israel war on Iran began. So they ain't hit them since the war started. Brigadier General Yahya Saree, a military spokesperson for the Houthis, announced the attack on Saturday on the rebels' Al-Masirah satellite television. Now, all of a sudden, now since the war started, they ain't hit them. Come on, man. You know why they ain't hit them? They let them wear themselves out with Iran. They set them up. And now they weak. Man, this a cold-ass world. And look, every time I go, watch, I went to another one. This is day 19. I forgot what day that one is. Watch, day 19. Let me see what they going to say on day 19. See? The Iran war is escalating sharply after an Israeli strike on Iran's vast South Part natural gas field as Iran retaliates with attacks across the region. So Iran's fighting on both sides, right? Israel. Look, Israel fighting on both sides. Now, how they going to sustain that? All right, let me see. This is day 19. Let me see how many times it say Israel. Because it's saying Israel a lot. To the point I had to explain people, these are two different wars, y'all. Because some people thought, oh, it's the same war. I'm like, no. This is two. Look, Israel is rapidly unalived Iran's top leaders. Israel has unalived one senior Iranian leader after another in airstrikes as it seeks to topple the Islamic. Israel unalived Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, and they took out Hamas top brass. So Israel is the most hated because they're getting rid of everybody. This day 19. Let me go back. Let me jump to day 25. Day 25. Let's see what it say about Israel. See what I'm saying? Man, listen. The combined force of the U.S. and Israel continue to conduct airstrikes targeting Iranian ballistic missile infrastructure. Right? So Israel's constantly helping America. But every time it's Israel helping America, and you don't hear nothing about America helping Israel. This is day 25. Let's see. I'm going through all the news I told that day. I've been noticing it. I'm like, the Israeli military estimates it will be several more weeks of fighting to complete its war goals in Iran. But they fighting on both sides. Make some sense. Look, even though the Israeli military claims it has destroyed or disable the majority of Iran's ballistic missile launchers, Iran continues to launch missiles at Israel. That includes an Iranian missile that evaded U.S. and Israeli air defense system and hit a residential neighborhood in Tel Aviv, damaging several apartment buildings and likely wounded some people. Some Israeli military leaders claim that Israel still needs weeks to complete its war. We are in many ways halfway there, the official said. There are very significant achievements both at the tactical level and at the strategic level, but there has not been a full strategic victory. Come on, man. And they playing Israel like a sucker because Israel just keep talking like everything is fine. They got them brainwashed. You know what? They got Israel brainwashed. Look, this is the last one I did. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard said it will target American and Israeli universities. How you going to target American universities? They way over here. See? Every time I go, it's Israeli this, Israeli that, Israeli this, Israeli that. Iran's Joint Military Command spokesperson declared on Sunday that the private residence of U.S. and Israeli officials have now become legitimate targets for Iran. Well, Israel the one over there, so if they targeting private residence, what's the main private residence going to get hit? See what I'm saying? Late on Sunday, Israel's military said that over the past 24 hours, its fighter jets had dropped more than 120 munitions on Tehran, targeting sites used for weapon research, development, and production. So they got them doing the heavy lifting. Man. But they over there in the middle of it, in America, way over here. Look, an agriculture company that produces pesticides in southern Israel said it suffered damage to a warehouse. Look, they over there, they in it taking a beating, but they, look, Israel's fire and rescue services responded to a massive blaze that began around 3:30 p.m. from an Iranian missile or shrapnel fragment from this company that they hit. See? Over 1 million Lebanese have been displaced in the latest war between Israel and Hezbollah militant group. See? Sheltering in public schools or in tents pitched on the side of the road. Israel said its aim is to protect the country from Hezbollah rocket attacks. See? Israel fire and rescue. See? These is all in a row I'm reading. These are stories I read 7, 8, 9. Look, Israel fire and rescue services warned that a missile or missile fragment that hit a factory near the southern Israeli city of Beersheba caused a massive blaze and was upgraded to a hazardous material incident. Authorities evacuated people in the immediate area, but there was no injury. Israel's fire and rescue services said the fragment set a pesticide tank on fire, sending fumes of smoke high over the entire city of Beersheba, the largest city in Israel's Negev desert. Additional waves of launches of missiles from Iran hit over 20 sites in Beersheba, but did not create major damage. So they getting hit from Iran and they getting hit. Come on, man. Look at this. Boy, they playing them bogus. And all through my news, it's Israel, 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 Israel. Bro, they sure ain't. He said, I noticed that. I wonder why the U.S. ain't helping them. They must know something about Israel or something. IMO. They letting Israel get hit like that. They way in America. The fight is over here. Israel's over here. The Saudis over here. Everybody over there. America's over there. Israel fighting two wars, but America's way over there. The land is way over there. So no matter what America kick off, guess who get hit? Everybody over here in the Middle East. They can't touch you. You way over there. So no matter what happens, people over there get the beating. America can fly over there, do all that, pack up and leave. Our whole Middle East be tore up. Then America can come to us. We can loan you some money. We can come in with infrastructure, take your oil. I mean, that's what it's looking like to me. It looked like the U.S. played the Middle East, the whole Middle East. They played the Saudis, Turkey, Israel, Gaza. They played everybody. And with everything America do, the bad guy is Israel over there. Everybody over there hate who? Who y'all think they hate the most over there? The U.S. or Israel? Israel? That's crazy as hell. What y'all think? Put it in the chat. Who them people in the Middle East y'all think hate the most? The U.S. or Israel? They hate both of them. But I would say Israel. Israel unalived all them leaders. Israel the one that hit the school where the kids was at. Israel doing all the heavy lifting. America set their ass up, didn't they? They don't like both, but I guarantee which one you think they don't like the worst though. And then here go the thing, Lionel, you right, but it's like this. You're gonna be most mad at who you could touch, right? Your anger gonna come out who right there. Who right there they could touch. You can only get so mad at the US because they ain't there. Like it's a psychological thing. So even if you ain't mad, even if you ain't mad at them the most, they the ones, fam, even if you ain't mad at them the most, they the ones you gonna hit though. Like I can't hit America, but I can hit y'all. That's what I'm looking at. He said, I agree it's a brilliant chess move on the part of the U.S., let the countries go at each other, leaving them all in a weakened state, if not destroyed. That's what I'm saying. Because, listen, he said Trump lied about. Hey, listen, think about this. The slower America move, the worse it is for Israel, Lebanon, Saudis, Turkey. The slower America move, the more it's worse for everybody over there. Am I tripping? Every day America take their time, them countries is boom, blowing each other up. Boom, 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 boom. Eventually this one hit this one, he get real mad, right? So if he mad at America, but then you bomb me up, I'm gonna react to you right now. Think about it. If you Israel, if you that shit crazy. So the longer they move, and then America got all them battleships and all them planes there protecting its interests, but it ain't protecting nobody else's interests. Like, to me, I'm not seeing America protect none of Israel's interests. The vibe is like, whatever going on with you about something, that's y'all business. Just help us out with our business. You come help us out with Iran. We're not helping you out with Hezbollah. You on your own. That what it looked like. Because to me, if Israel did all this stuff to help America make their move, why ain't America doing nothing to help them? America, like, my name West, I ain't in that mess. Whatever you and Hezbollah got, that's y'all business. So I've been looking at it lately. I'm saying the longer this go, everybody else is the one getting weaker. The longer America drag it out, the better it is for the U.S. To be honest, they'll all be so weak and so tore up that America going in, the billionaires can go buy all of it. How much you want for this raggedy? We'll help put it back. How much is going to cost? All right, we'll give you $1 billion. If you give us $5 billion back, you can pay it over a period. And we own this and this and this and this. How Israel gonna rebuild? And then Israel, right? Israel got Hezbollah after. Israel got whatever the name of the ones that Iran after. Israel got the Houthis after. And then Israel got the Palestinians still after. They're going to hit them too. So everybody's after Israel. And Israel right there. And America way over there. America's way over there. That's some dirty shit. Israel surrounded by enemies. I'm talking about how you think them people hate Israel more than anything. First, because of Gaza, because that Gaza situation was just horrible. I ain't gonna lie. I really couldn't pay no lot of attention to that because it was just depressing the way they did them. They just blew the whole man. And when they was bringing them water and food and stuff, the way they was fighting for water and food. It was, I never seen nothing like that. That's my first time seeing something like that. I never seen nothing like that. They decimated them people right in front of our face. That's going to be major history later. That's going to be bigger than what you thought it was when it happened. I mean, that was they didn't care about kids or hospitals or nothing. They was blowing up hospitals full of children. They got the nerve to talk about Hitler. And you did all that to them people. Now you want to make more enemies? Them people going to decimate Israel. They going to flatten Israel, ain't they? Between the Palestinians, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Iran, they going to flatten it. Israel ain't going to be able, how they going to survive? They surrounded by people that hate them horribly. And America don't care. Anyway, man, I don't want to keep talking about that, but let that sink in. We definitely going to have to talk about that. We're going to have to talk about that again. We just got to have, we give it about a week. Next week, when I do the open discussion, it's probably going to be horrible. America is slick as hell, ain't they? Boy, Goshen, I almost can't believe we seeing some of this stuff. I'm kind of feeling like, yeah, I've been kind of asleep. Talking about this kind of make me feel, because I really didn't, I should have took the Gaza more serious. It's almost like some type of, what do you call it when something's really bad and it's so bad you just ignore it? Because I ain't going to lie, man, Gaza was so bad looking at that. I think I just ignored it. What about y'all? Do y'all feel like you really took in Gaza as bad as it really was? It was almost like, I don't want to hide it. It was almost like it was so bad, I just wanted to ignore it. It's like some kind of mental, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like something mental. Any of y'all was like that too? You looked at Gaza, it was so bad, you just kind of had to blow it off. It was so bad. I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely didn't take in how bad it was. It was like too bad. It was so bad that you didn't want to take it in and comprehend what you just saw. I think I'm saying that right. It was just like I don't believe I took it in. It was that bad. I ain't gonna lie. Man, them pictures was, man. Them, man. Look, I don't know how to say it, but it was like it did something to me. I just kind of blew it off. It was so bad. I think I'm saying that right. It was like some kind of, like just looking at it, it was just like, am I really looking at this? Did they really do that? Kind of that kind of vibe. Like I couldn't even really. I couldn't even really take it in. It was that bad. I think I'm saying that right. It's like I would look at them pictures and I'd be like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? It was bad. And it was all that protest and stuff. I was trying to avoid all that. And, I knew the history about them coming in and mistreating the blacks. So I kind of had some disliking for the people in Gaza because they ain't the original people and they treat the black ones bad. They ain't treat the black ones good in Gaza. So I think I was like, man, the hell with y'all. Y'all don't treat black ones no good. And I think I was like, y'all ain't even the real Hebrew Israelites or whatever. I think that was my vibe. But the pictures like this is like, look at this, man. So now Israel got all of this. This ain't went nowhere. The U.S. played them like some suckers. I ain't gonna lie. Israel shouldn't have been mixed up in this mess. Look how they did. Now, ain't no way you know the body, ain't no way they know the body count. There's bodies all up in there. Man, how many bodies is in there? In that rubble. Ain't no way they know the body count. So imagine how bad they dislike them people on top of all of this here. Man, this is horrible. Look. Why would you do that? Nah, they gonna do Israel the same way they did that, ain't they? They gonna decimate Israel. If they don't do nothing else, they gonna decimate Israel. But anyway, that's enough of that. We'll talk about it again. Y'all stay positive, you know what I mean? The best you can. Well, some of this stuff is just crazy though, I ain't gonna lie. Some of this stuff, man. Some of this stuff is crazy. All right, victory.